Come on, get in there. Welcome to the Top 4 podcast. My name is Peter, top of the league. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm joined by Oscar, a Chelsea fan.
What do I say, man? What do I say? I don't even know, bro. Big up the Brighton. Big up all the LGBTQ and them, man.
Is that how you started it? What, on Rainbow Laces week, on their weekend.
Big man thing, like I didn't even think about intros today, but I have nothing to say. Like, I'm so disappointed. But yeah, let's move.
Well, we're gonna get into Chelsea very, very shortly. I'm joined by Ernie, a Manchester United fan.
Oh my God, we're having a Virgil.
Imagine. Hey, people, if you notice, Ernest is back in the building, bro. United are back to winning ways. He is live in the flesh. He is live in the flesh. Oscar, we have to kick things off at the Amex Stadium. Is it still called that? I need to double check that. But no, do you know what it is? I say that because you know what caught me off guard? Brentford's new stadium is called something mad, and I did not know that. It's like G-Tech Stadium. I was like, raw, G-Tech Community, something like that, yeah. But yes, listen, Graham Potter went back to the Hove and got a shellacking 4-1. Oscar, Oscar, you were there, you went down to the Amex. First of all, tell us, is it easy to get to? How did you get down there? What was the day like? You said it's the greatest part.
Brighton is a beautiful away. Like, I mean, if we won, it would have been amazing. But if you like, we're from London, innit? It's a simple train down there. It didn't take me more than an hour and a half to get there. You're there. It's very easy. They treat you so nice. Like the way they get you to the stadium from like Brighton City Centre, bro, it's mad. Before I get started though, the Chelsea fans are here. Shout out Baraka. He says what up. Shout out to Har. He says big up the panel. We're talking Chelsea. We'll be back in 20 minutes.
We have to kick things off at Chelsea.
Hey, Assad said we got clarted. Yes. And then Lola saying Ernest showing all his teeth. Ernest is very, very
there you go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Full rack, boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, for real, Oscar. Like, first of all, continue the journey on. Go on.
I mean, there's no journey. I mean, I walked into the Amex Stadium. In the concourse, I was giving it large. Peter, you heard my voice note I sent you. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
I sent him a voice note. We were chanting Fabregas songs. Yeah, I said, let me voice note Peter real quick. Chant some Fabregas songs in his ear. Great, yeah. I get in the ground.
Where's the Aubameyang one?
We don't sing for Aubameyang. Not yet. When he bags goals, the song will come, but not yet. So the game starts, and Chelsea are on the ropes from 30 seconds in. We are on the ropes. Thiago Silva had probably, I want to say the worst half he's ever had in a Chelsea shirt, but you know we all remember the West Broms, and there's been bad games.
Was he there when you got panned by Brentford last year?
We don't need to do that.
I'm just making inquiries.
Bring it. I like that.
We ain't gotta do all that. I don't know. I can't remember that game. I don't know if he started. I know Rudiger played. I don't remember if he played, but. Yeah, no, he gave the ball away in a couple clearances. Then he had to head the ball off the line. I was watching Match of the Day. The commentators were gassing him up like, at his age to be doing that. I'm like, he's the one that gave the ball away. Like he literally passed it.
He's very apologetic.
I can't remember who it was, but then the ball looped over Kepa's head, and then he had to clear off the line. And then, bro, Brighton just had us on. The crowd was up for it. Shout out to the Brighton crowd because they was ready. Unfortunately, they were giving Potter the maddest stick. Like they don't like.
What going about that?
I was surprised.
What going about that? Like, talk to me about that. Because everybody seemed to know that it was for him. Like, you know, managers obviously they don't touch the ball, they don't do anything. So how do you know if they're booing a manager? Like, what happened? What took place?
At 3-0 down, they're chanting "sacked in the morning." You're getting sacked in the morning. Yep. They're not chanting that to their own manager. They're chanting it to Graham Potter. And even the bit where he comes out and he's clapping and they have him on the screen. Like they booed him.
Okay, they had him on screen.
I really did not expect it. I thought they had respect for him because let's be real, Brighton. Are Brighton in the top 4 right now?
I can double check. They haven't won a game in like 4 before this game.
They ain't won since they got their new manager, innit?
Yeah, they hadn't won.
Bro, Brighton were like, come on,
Brighton are 8th.
Yeah, okay. Lola's saying he left during the season. They're allowed to give him stick, but I was surprised. But anyway, the other person who got mad stick was Chelsea's £62 million left back, Cucurella.
I heard that.
And the worst thing is he crumbled under the weight of it. Like he crumbled. He got absolutely destroyed by Solly Marsh of all wingers. Solly Marsh. Yeah. I've always liked Solly Marsh, but he's never been the guy.
He's all right, though, no?
No. I'm a fan of Solly Marsh, but he's not the guy that dominates his fullback. Like he's not the guy that beats you for pace and skins you, bro. Cucurella got skinned a couple times. Shout out to Endo. He's saying he got bullied. What's miskin you? I don't know what that means.
We'll find out.
But other than that, okay, so let me go back to the football. Sorry. So they played their game, innit? The way that Brighton played, it moved the ball very, very quickly. Chelsea couldn't handle it. The midfield two was just it wasn't solid enough. And then that second goal, we were very unfortunate to concede a second. I don't know if you saw it, but it was an own goal by Ruben Loftus-Cheek from a corner. So it's very, very unfortunate. And from the moment Chelsea were 2-0 down, I felt like we couldn't overcome the weight of the defeat. Do you know what I mean? It just felt like backs against the wall. The crowd is going crazy. Every time Cucurella gets the ball, they're booing. They're chanting stuff at Potter. The atmosphere was just so big that we couldn't handle it. And I think we're trying to play this 4 at the back system at the moment. And defensively, we are just not sound or solid enough to contain. So going forward, if you watch the highlights in the first half, we actually created chances. Like Pulisic had a chance he should have scored. Conor Gallagher in the same move. There was another
moment. The second half.
There was I mean, there was moments where we should have pieced things together and got a goal. I think in the second half, the halftime team talk definitely gave us a little boost, and then we came out and we scored, and there was moments of getting forward. But in the first half, particularly, we're 3-0 down, and the occasion was like big for us, and it's Brighton. How mad is that?
I mean, De Zerbi hasn't won a game before this one, and I just don't get why. Why Chelsea cracked under this pressure, why they struggled. I mean, were there significant players out? I did see the team lineup and I thought, this is strange. People like Sterling and who was the other one? Sterling and was it Havertz? I can't remember. But there were as in wing backs. You almost had like midfielders playing wingers playing wing backs.
Sterling and Pulisic are like the wing backs.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Oscar. Obviously, you watch Chelsea a lot closer. Every time he seems to have gone with that system, he's pulled those players off quick, and he's reverted back to his normal, what would be the normal fullbacks wing backs anyway, rather than you have.
The thing is that formation is a very attacking formation. Your wide players are like the person who would be Aspilicueta or Reece James is now a winger. So we play very attacking in those games. So it's not every game. We played Salzburg in midweek and we played very, very well. We attacked and we scored goals, but we concede chances like crazy. So if like a situation like Brighton, where Brighton capitalize on the chances that we're giving away, we're overwhelmed by the situation. We're 3-0 down in half an hour. Like
unreal.
It was crazy. It's absolutely insane. Big up Adrian, who's just arrived.
And Brighton have no strikers. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those where you just think both teams had no strikers, but then there was a 5-goal thriller. It's weird.
Yeah, before I want to hear what Ernest and Adrian have to say, but before we do that, let me read some more comments because people are talking. Big up Lola. She says Silva and Chalobah not balling now. Silva's first half was shocking. Chalobah's second half was shocking. And yeah, we crumbled, man. We really did crumble. Endo said, why is Potter playing Sterling, Pulisic as wing-back, some idiot? Well, he's doing that because Reece James is injured and Aspilicueta is, I'm sorry, like, he's just not at the level that should be playing for this club. Like, giving him a new contract was shocking. On the left, he does have options on the left. There is Chilwell, there is Cucurella. But I think Chelsea really did struggle under Tuchel to create chances. People are talking about this wing-back thing. You have to remember that it was a conversation that why are Chelsea playing 5 at the back with these defensive systems. You remember we played Manchester United in that first half. We had Aspilicueta as one of the wing backs and Chilwell was the other wing backs. These guys did not go forward. They were penned back in their own half for half an hour by Manchester United. And that's the team that we always criticize on this show. So it's not like it's the best, ran team at the moment. So like Potter has to figure it out. Like I feel like Potter's working, he's tinkering, like he's trying to suss out these players, see what they're really about, see what they're capable of. But right now, there's no easy solutions. I just want to go to Murad's comment and then we can hear from the other guys. He says, if Chelsea ever find themselves 3-0 down in the first half, please do not return for the second half. Hold that 3-0 forfeit on FIFA.
Pass the pad, man.
Yeah, it's one of them ones. Whitewash there.
Yeah. Ernest, were you surprised at the Brighton victory?
Yeah, because I think like I was saying to Diallo, I was like, like Potter, as much as Chelsea are not excellent, they haven't lost the game under him. So this didn't feel like it was. I wouldn't say it was coming. I wouldn't say a full one Chelsea loss was coming. But the thing that I looked at was, I think Chelsea are going to struggle with dealing with the sheer amount of players they have in the squad. Like, there are loads of players that there is no compass. There's no direction. I'm looking at Chelsea have 2 left backs and only 1 right back. Last year, they had an issue with Reece James being injured. And they have Aspilicueta. I remember Oscar was telling me, and I didn't think about it till I saw the announcement. Aspilicueta signed a new contract when he should have gone to Barca. Like, Chelsea's recruitment is very funny since Lampard. And it's like, and this is why I'll always go back to Sarri and say, Sarri was the man you should have kept, because he had a plan with Jorginho. He had a plan with Kante. Kante under Sarri was the first time I realized Kante is not a DM, because the way Sarri was using him was so much more effective for the team. And I'm looking at Chelsea like there's another someone with a load of influx of players, Dennis Zakaria, for example, and I'm looking at him like, what is Chelsea's plan? The reason I've always gotten on to people like Kai Havertz is not necessarily because of his ability. I just don't think he is a player he's a player they bought with a plan. Are you a false 9? Are you a support striker? When you play 9, we can't rely on you. Because if you're that good, help us inspire a victory. Not to say that it was him, it was his fault why you lost. And then you have people like Trevor Chalobah. We're not really sure how good or bad he is. Thiago Silva cannot be your best centre-back. He can't be. He cannot be your best centre-back. At 37 years old, he cannot be your best centre-back. Then you've got Chilwell is not, in my opinion, the jury's still out on how good Chilwell is for Chelsea. Cucurella just come big wage. I'm really not sure how good he is.
Bro, you know what? That Brighton deal was a heist. That's what I call a heist.
Of the century.
If Man United signed Cucurella based off last season, I'm gassed. But this year, I'm not impressed with what I've seen so far. Then you have Raheem Sterling, a player that I said on this podcast is the best value for money signing in the season. And I'm realizing what I said years ago when I said, if you take Pep Guardiola out of Sterling's life, he's not a good player. I'm looking at him. Take the wing back thing away. Someone posted a video here of Kevin De Bruyne's chances created for Sterling, and did you see it, Adrian?
Yeah.
And Sterling and Jesus. And I said, if Chelsea, who do not have a creative midfielder right now, they haven't replaced Fabregas. Chelsea do not have a creative midfielder right now. Mason Mount being number 10 is good, but is more about industry than it is about creativity. There are loads of questions around loads of players at Chelsea. And I think Potter is struggling to find his best 11 because, one, he's come into a situation that on the surface looks good, but we're not sure what his ideas are, his philosophy is. And he's also come into a team where he is not the master of his ship. So it's going to be a problem in the future. There's going to be more results like this until Potter's able to find some control. And until we see it, I'm not confident. As much as I like Graham Potter.
Yeah, I mean, AD, let me chime in on this as well. Was this a result that surprised you? Did you see it coming? Where's your stance with Chelsea? Transfers, Graham Potter. Where are you on that whole situation? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd be capping if I said that I saw it coming. But you see, Brighton are one of those teams where they've got the briefcase, they've got the expected goals in that briefcase, and they're just waiting for that one Saturday afternoon to cash it all in on your team. Like, it's mad. Like they'll go like 5 games in a row. The XG will be like 18 goals. They'll score like 2, and then against your team, they'll have like 4 shots, score 3 goals, and it's like, what the hell's going on there? So yeah. So like Brighton are just one of those teams. But yeah, Ernest made a good point because, and I think a lot of Ernest's concerns are with Chelsea. Like Bowley and the ball they saw it, i.e. You ask the question, why is Thiago Silva at 37 their best centre half? Hang on a flipping minute. They've bought, I don't know what's happened to Fofana. Fofana's got some sort of injury.
Yeah.
They bought in, but he's going to be, if all goes to plan, he's going to be, top 5 centre backs on the planet. Koulibaly, one of the best centre backs on the planet at present. So they brought him in. So those two deals haven't necessarily sort of hit the ground running. The right back issue, like for me, like, and I know like people laughed at Chelsea fans and they're calling them all sorts, but facts are facts. When those wing backs came out of the sides, the way Chelsea attacked, it went off a flipping cliff. There was no guile, there was no ingenuity, there was no penetration, there was no flair, no creativity, no nothing. The moment Reece James and Bell Chilwell, both of them, because there was a time when Chilwell was clapping last season, let's not forget. So I think that's that. And I think when you look at it, Chelsea is a thing where they need a lot of surgery, but when you deep it, a big part of that surgery is getting rid. Because man like Ziyech are still there. And it's like, if man like Ziyech is still there, man like Pulisic, you have to make a decision, unfortunately. Are you in or are you out? Do you believe in him? Do you not believe in him? So I think what Chelsea need to do, similar to what Man United have needed to do for many years, is you just need to get the trigger, bang, like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Unfortunately, like, what's the scenario? Are you Lewis and Ballack, or are you the next Josh McEachran? Like, what's it gonna be, my bro?
Wow. That's harsh on Rubes, man.
Wow.
But as in what I'm saying is he the guy?
How old is Ruben?
Is he the guy?
Peter, ask the question again. He's 26 years old and he cannot secure a starting position at Chelsea Football Club. He needs to leave.
Yeah, but that's not.
No. If Pogba had come through our academy and at 26 years old couldn't start, I'm telling him to cut. Hey,
you have another 26-year-old that's struggling to start in your midfield.
But he's not good enough to start. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has ability.
That's a good point.
But he's not good enough to start.
Okay,
he's 26 years old.
He's 26, Peter.
My
he's
God.
26. If you're an academy player at 26, the question should have been answered, done and dusted. You are a starter or you're not a starter.
Okay,
because look at Barcelona and Sergio Roberto. He was meant to be Dani Alves' replacement. He's still not good enough at right back. But they've kept him as a squad man. He knows his level. He knows in the hierarchy where he ranks. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek should have been good enough to start for Chelsea, but he's not.
I think that's extremely, extremely harsh. I think the reason Ruben Loftus-Cheek is not good enough to start for Chelsea probably is because of the injuries that have hampered his career. But
get him out.
Yeah, hold on. You can say get him out, and whilst I don't necessarily disagree, I might be because like I'm not the biggest Ruben guy in terms of the Chelsea fan.
You kicked out Ross Barkley for less.
What do you mean for less?
You kicked out. I'm saying Ross Barkley was also unavailable a lot of the time because of injury.
But you're talking about unavailable. Look, our midfield has N'Golo Kante, who's consistently unavailable. We have Kova, who is consistently unavailable. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has started 10 Premier League games this season. Like, now is not the time to be digging out.
How many in his Chelsea career?
I don't know.
But why is he? My question is
10 league games this season.
My question is why is he playing 10 games this season? I don't understand why is he in the squad? He shouldn't be a Chelsea football player.
Oh, guys,
let's call it what it is. When I think about Chelsea, right? When I think about Chelsea, and I think we've had arguments about this year on year out. When I think of Chelsea, I think about them being one of the elite, one of the best teams in the world, the team that always goes for the big cheese. And I'm sorry, people like Loftus-Cheek, Chelsea's not his level. It's definitely not his level. And I think I thought he was still like 23 or something. When man said he's 26, he's had his loan spells at Fulham and Palace where he didn't tear up trees.
It's like people like, do you remember Nuri Sahin at Dortmund?
Yeah.
Baller. But you're always injured. And the truth is, availability is your best ability. But I'm saying no, but Oscar, even because who said it in the chat here? Assad is absolutely spot on. He's been the games I've watched Ruben. He's been decent. I don't know about. Yeah, it's nearly every game, not every game, but Ruben has been good enough, and we can clearly see his quality. But my point is, it's always good until it's bad. So when it becomes bad, what do? He's unreliable. Is my point. That's all my issue is. At 26 years old, injury has been the reason you cannot start for this club. You might need to cut because What are we gonna wait till you're 29 when you're injury free for you to finally be a Chelsea starter? Like, when are we gonna wait?
Last season he started the most games he started in a Chelsea shirt. This season,
which is how much?
How many is that though?
I don't know.
What, 24?
But you have to factor in both. Let me just get the numbers.
If he started 20 games last season, then I stand corrected.
No, he made 24 appearances and only 13 were starts. Yeah, only 13 were starts.
That's not good enough, Oscar.
Guys, this season he started 10 league games. 10.
No, hang on.
We're in November, bro.
You guys are missing my point here. He's not good enough for Chelsea.
No, but
we're in November.
He's not meant to. This is the thing, guys. Where I disagree with this discourse is we're not meant to have four starters in central midfield. You can't have 4 starters in central midfield.
Then you'll get 4 1s from Brighton all the time. If you cannot tell me you're starting 11, your best. No. Oscar, I'm sorry to cut you. My point is your starting 11 has to have consistency. Why do you think Man United have struggled in the last 5-6 years?
There's no.
We don't know our best 11.
But Ernest, what have I said in this conversation? The lack of consistency comes from the fact that Kante is never fit and that Cover is never fit. Jorginho's the only one in that midfield that can remain fit. Yeah, and of those three, that's the rotation. Like Ruben has come in when those guys have been injured, and he's done a good job for his ability. And I think when it comes to these kind of squad players that come in, like. Yeah, you can sit there and say, "Oh, Ruben should be somewhere else." But if he goes somewhere else, like the issue ain't this. That issue's not changing. Ruben is going to go to the World Cup with England this year because he's playing for Chelsea. Like, and he has the opportunity.
You think he's going?
Yeah, Southgate will pick him. But bear in mind, England's deficiency is that midfield pivot area. There's not many players that can play there. There's not many players.
Yeah, I hear.
And if Ruben is starting 10 games for Chelsea, as bad as we are, Southgate will pick the guy. He likes him.
Ruben will walk on the stairs to the plane and get injured.
I don't think that's the same Ruben anymore.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, yeah,
I like Loftus-Cheek.
I might be wrong. I'm just very surprised that this conversation has come this week. Ruben didn't even start.
No, because do you know what it is? Because I've heard Ruben Loftus-Cheek for 5 years.
That's where he started.
Yeah, he just went on goal. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I've heard his name for so long, and I believe in his ability. I don't believe in his availability. And I'm saying based on that, for Chelsea Football Club, he should not be starting.
I can agree. But I think the conversation is that Chelsea have been in an unfortunate position where we were talking about Thiago Silva earlier. We signed Koulibaly and we signed Fofana. Like, Thiago Silva shouldn't be playing week in, week out because of those signings. Ruben Loftus-Cheek should not be playing week in, week out if the players ahead of him that are clearly ahead of him in the pecking order are not fit, were fit.
But we know that the midfield that, say, Sarri and Lampard are on their last legs now.
But that's the problem area. That's my point. My point is we need a new player to replace Kante. We need a new player to come in when
I think that's Ernie's point though.
When Cover's not fit. No, but like I don't have. This is my thing because a lot of Chelsea fans seem to go at players like Ruben or like Conor Gallagher or those academy boys, and I'm like, these academy kids can be the bench players. We're not going to sign someone to come play on the bench. Like, let Ruben play 15 games a season. Why am I signing Zakaria or Saul or whoever? Every season we sign a new midfielder who doesn't play football for Chelsea. It pisses me off.
I hear you, but then why don't I mean, Chelsea have as much money as Man City do, and City will buy players and put them on the bench, right? And they'll have 30, 40, 60 million pound players.
City don't have our academy. City don't have Conor Gallagher. They don't have Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They don't have Callum Hudson-Odoi. They don't have these kind of players that they can just come in and they can do a job for 4 or 5 Premier League games, and then when the fit player comes back, they're fine. These players want to play for Chelsea. Like, Ruben wants to be here.
So are you saying that like you're saying that the midfielders that start, the actual starters, if they're fit, he doesn't start for Chelsea.
And they're the ones that need to be replaced.
No. My point is Ruben Loftus-Cheek okay with that, in your opinion?
That, like, as a driven person, that can't ever be your mentality. But I think if Ruben doesn't play for 5 league games and then you give him the start, he'll go, all right, cool, I'm going to impress and try and do my thing.
Yeah. And my point is, at 26 years old, you shouldn't have to impress.
Okay, so if you're Ruben, what would you rather do? You go and play for a club that you can play for, that you can start every week, which is a bottom half club. Let's be clear.
Is he a top half player?
Is that what you want? Not to start the issues of him starting every week. It would happen if he played for Tottenham. It would happen if he played for.
I think he starts for Tottenham.
Huh?
I think he starts for Tottenham.
He doesn't. Week in, week out.
No. I'm saying ability. I'm not saying availability.
He starts as much as he starts at Chelsea for Tottenham. He started 10 Premier League games. How many places?
Are you saying there are better midfielders in Tottenham's midfield than Ruben Loftus-Cheek?
To what they want to do, yeah.
He adds so much creativity if he goes to Tottenham. And my point is, Tottenham in the top 6, I'll probably say currently are like the bottom team. Them and Liverpool. Yeah. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek walks into Tottenham's team. I think he's a top half player. I think he's a top half for the Ruben has the Lingard effect, the old young academy player. Boy, I didn't say it.
No, you're spot on. That's exactly how he feels. He feels like the old young player. But
my point is, Lingard left.
But even
Lingard left.
In the Zimmer frame, to be fair.
But like, okay,
but
where would Lingard rather be?
Adrian, it took him so long to realize this club don't rate you, bro. I'm not saying it's the same thing with Loftus-Cheek. I'm not saying it's the same thing because he did not rate Lingard, yeah. But my point is, with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, at 26 years old, you should not be waiting for other men.
Whose perspective are you talking from? Are you talking from Ruben's perspective or the club's perspective?
Ruben.
Ruben is as happy as he can be. He's playing for Chelsea Football Club. He has
no. You remember I asked you?
This is the best.
You remember I asked you? When you're saying that the best scenario for him, or the most realistic, is that when the other guys are fit who are first team players, he's on the bench. And I ask you, is Ruben happy with that?
I'm saying that's the best scenario. Ruben will go to
happy with that.
I'm saying
in your opinion. I know you don't know. I'm saying
I think he is. I think he's because he's had his loan spells at Fulham. He had his loan spell at Palace, and he's come back to Chelsea. And he's coming back to Chelsea, knowing that look, let's say worst case scenario, I don't do anything of note in football. I might as well be at the best club that there ever has been. And if it means me sitting on the bench and I get 5 games, but my team wins the league or it wins the Champions League, there's my medal. I have 5 games.
Interesting.
Okay. The ambition, because being driven and ambition is a word that's used very ambiguously. I think you can be ambitious by the fact that you're staying at Chelsea, even though you're not going to get those games. But guess what? You might get an opportunity, a la 10 games, where maybe I can make my stamp and actually try and stay in this team. There's been players that have definitely, they burst onto the scene and all of a sudden they're one of the main, they're one of the first 15 players or 14 players on the team sheet, if that makes sense. So with Ruben's had 2 spells elsewhere and it's not necessarily gone great, so it's been stale. Let me say it that way. It's not been bad, it's just been stale. And when you weigh up the options, I'm going to get more money at Chelsea.
If I'm Ruben Loftus-Cheek and a scenario like Murad said it before me, if a scenario like Newcastle comes through, I'm thinking about it.
Do you know what though?
I think 100%.
Here's what I'll say on that Newcastle front though. Everybody's got to start looking at that football club differently. What we're getting in terms of the Willocks of this world, the Dan Burns of this world, that was the end. Yeah. Don't think for a second they're going to be dipping in that market again in January and in the summer. Your Dan Burns, your Chris Woods,
see you later.
Willocks, that's the pack. That's it. It's done. Look at the quality they're signing, by the way.
I just want to say this last thing on Ruben, because Peter touched on his loan spell and he went to Fulham and was on loan and he played about 20 odd games there. That same season, a young player like Hudson-Odoi, for example, was playing in the Champions League, played about 6 of the games and won the Champions League. Like, would you rather go and play more games at Fulham and have nothing to show for it, or be a bench player, rotation player at Chelsea?
They went down, didn't they? They went down.
But also, I mean, maybe I'm different, innit? Maybe I'm different, but I look at things from an individual perspective. When your grandkids are asking you about medals and you say, yeah, you won the Premier League and the Champions League, I definitely understand that argument. My issue is you can't show them no highlights though.
But Ruben got highlights though.
You can't show them highlights, bro.
That's a real one. Do you hear Thierry Henry talking about that?
That's a real one.
Thierry Henry says his kids don't believe that he was this guy.
Ruben scored the FA Cup semi-final last season, man.
Cool. And you're clashing at straws
That's a straw.
You're clutching at straws.
I'm not gonna have a highlight reel of goals.
No, because what's this guy talking about? When Claude Makelele speaking to the grandkids, he says kids. They named a role after me. Like,
Legacy.
I don't think you understand. And he scored what, 1 goal in his career? Like, bro, let's not do this. I'm not talking about goals here. I'm talking about if you got a football brain, let's look at what you've done in your life, bro. And I'm saying if Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm not gonna speak for him, man. That's on him. When he looks at his bank account every week, he's got more money than me. I ain't gonna chat on a man's life. However, from a football ambition perspective, if you are 26 and you're happy with not starting at Chelsea Football Club, if these other guys are fit, that's on you, bro. That's on you.
I've been only spitting, and because when you look at God-given ability, if you're
he's the best Chelsea Academy graduate I've seen in a long time.
Ruben's cold. Like Ruben,
he's cold.
He's got all the tools to be a Chelsea starter. He does. And the fact that we're debating it means he hasn't hit the heights that he was meant to. And
Thank you, Adrian.
But that's a fact. I don't think
it's not necessarily his fault.
But he's played a lot of games this season, and none of you have come out and said, "Wow, that Ruben kid."
Yes, I have.
He's not a kid no more.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, well, I was going to say number one, he's not a kid, but number two, I haven't seen a tree that's been pulled. As soon as Kante and them lot are back, they'll be right back in that squad.
But this is my point. So, like, if you take Ruben out, he's not playing for a better club. Like, he's
starts in another club.
Okay, but
he starts in another club.
That's how you.
Starts in another one because you're saying all this, yeah. You're saying all this. What's the guarantee that Chelsea are going to win the league in the next 4 years when he's 30?
There isn't. But Chelsea
when he's 30, what's the guarantee he's going to win the league?
There's no guarantee, but he has a better chance of winning a trophy at Chelsea than at any club he could go to.
But is he going to contribute to that trophy?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Chelsea won something last season, he would have been a big contributor. We won the Club World Cup and he was there.
Okay. All right, cool.
Oscar, let's move it on. Big up Robin in the building as well. Big up yourself, Manchester United fan. What's going on?
Did Lola say Ruben has modelling shots?
Well, I just want to say, hold tight the 3-point collectors this weekend. It's been a good one for all the man them out there. So I had a glorious weekend.
Hey, Villainous Robin is different.
What did you say?
About that.
What Robin? Ernest, what do you call him? What type of Robin is he?
Villainous Robin. Robin's come, bro. Robin popped up in the camera, smiling. Bare teeth. I said, yeah.
Is that Triple H into the year 2000? Masterpiece of work.
I'm here. All I want to say is
making a bit of noise. Is there like a ticker going
on? Oh no! I think it's the rain. The rain that's coming through. Yeah, it's like hitting my window like mad. But I'll quickly speak on what I saw. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chelsea. I just saw 4-1 and I had to watch the replay. Yeah, you man. I don't know what's going on with you. I felt like Potter really underestimated Brighton. That's what I got from that game. Like, he thought that he was going to go in there. Yeah, he knows Brighton. He knows this. And his players, like, yeah, you've got this in the bag. But I didn't feel from minute 1 to minute 90, from I saw the highlights, that you guys weren't serious. And I don't know if it's just, like, post-Champions League hangover, stuff like that. But that's what I mainly got from that game. And other than that, yeah, just bare silly stuff. Brighton weren't that great, if that makes sense, but they got 4 goals, and that's the weird thing about it. So nothing more to say, but I do think we need to talk about Raheem Sterling, because I've been watching him for a while now and he's not done anything.
Oscar's on mute, but
yeah, Oscar, you're on mute still. Yeah.
I said the comments are talking about Raheem Sterling, so which one of you wants to take that question?
Well, I've got something good to say about Sterling, so I guess you should go with the negative.
Whoa! Read that comment, please.
Guys, please talk on this fraud Sterling. I genuinely believe... Oh, he's just a jerk chicken.
What? What do you mean?
The epitome of a system player.
The thing is, Adrian, believe it or not, we've heard worse in other podcasts.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know what? You remember when they called...
I'm going to shut this window, okay?
they call Salah a Wallahi Walker.
Man,
we've heard worse.
That's outrageous. That is, but yeah,
Dude,
you're right. We have heard worse, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg, honest.
Yeah, you know what? On Sterling,
nasty things that I'm incredulous to. I can't hear
it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Oscar, maybe correct me if I'm wrong here. And I don't watch Chelsea close, so do forgive me on this, right? I come with a pinch of salt, yeah. I feel like he's been your best player this season. Why do I think that? Out of the 10 games, he had like a good first 4 games, and then he hasn't had a good maybe 5 or 6 games. But nobody I've seen at Chelsea has had better than 4 games this season. Does that make sense?
I think if we're talking about under Tuchel, Sterling felt like a breath of fresh air. He felt like the only one of our attackers that actually played like an attacker. Like he actually, it feels like he's been bogged down by the spirit of Chelsea and just forgot how to attack like all of our other attackers. So no, he's been really poor since Potter came in. I think Potter's first game he actually scored and it was a good goal, but since then it feels like he hasn't really adapted to this Potter thing. Potter's asking him to play wing back. I think that's messing him up also. But I think just him in the final third sometimes. You know how frustrating he was at City and how frustrating he could be for England. When you're at Chelsea and you're getting way less chances than you are in those games, it's like, bro, you got to take it. There was one time when the ball comes to him on a play against Manchester United in the box and he miscontrols it. And you're thinking, bro, that's not something I'd expect from someone of your level of experience. Like, he does very frustrating things.
He normally needs 5-6 chances. He will get 1 or 2. Yeah. And as you say at Chelsea, but it says more to me about what you just said. You mentioned something earlier just then where you said at Chelsea you're going to get less chances on goal. Now we're talking about a team that's on the sharp end of the table, right? So the fact that when you play for Fulham, Fulham's a bad example this year, right? But when you play for like a Bournemouth or you play for a Forest or wherever, you get 2 shots on goal a game. That's it. Whereas when you're playing for Chelsea, I'm supposed to have 5, 6, and 7. So the fact that we're even, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a bit like, I feel like the system is all wrong for Sterling. And I feel like, and it's, it's not a blame on Potter. Potter's got his way of playing football and he wants to play that way. Fine. And some players will fit, some won't. Doesn't make you a bad player, right? But there's a lot of players, I think, at Chelsea today, and it's no fault of Potter whatsoever, but there's a lot of players at Chelsea today that will not be there in the summer because it does not fit the face of Potter's football. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of players that will be gone. But I think Sterling's been... I don't know a player this season at Chelsea that's got better than 4 games this season. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like he's the best player that you've had this season.
Our best player this season has been by far Reece James. There's not even a question of that.
I mean, okay, yes.
C1 says, yes, Sterling's been poor under Potter, still created the best chance of the game, but he needs to improve. Sterling will come good eventually, says Balotelli's. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of that. We needs a creative centre midfielder. Yeah, same old issues, man, same old issues. But I think we can wrap up on Chelsea there because we could be here all day talking about.
Point to our side. I just genuinely think this once the oil is in the engine, I think Chelsea will be fine. All of those players I think Sterling will be a top goal scorer this year. Funny enough, as much as you've got another number 9 who seems to be on the bench, which I thought was weird. And when you brought him on, he played on the left.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Aubameyang has to play every single game for Chelsea.
Again, that's what I felt like.
He's your only
striker. That's why I felt like another reason that Potter underestimated Brighton. I felt like he's like, yeah, I left them. They're not that.
I don't know.
And he changes a lot, doesn't he? He changes every game. I hear that he says Chelsea have made 5 changes. They've made 6 changes to the last game. 7. I'm like, man, Potter is full on. I guess he is feeling his way. He's trying to
learn these players. He doesn't know what the players are about. He has to learn that.
I was disappointed by his post-match, though, because obviously he seemed to bite about those Brighton fans booing him. And I get why he would feel emotional about it. I get why he would feel sad. But he seemed to make that point of, like, remember where they were when I took them. Remember where they were when I left. I left them with a load more money in the bank. This kind of stuff. And I thought, hang on a minute, Potter. Like, I don't know why. I never would have thought he would ever bite to that. I remember when this time last season, in fact, I think it was after 8 games, Brighton had won the first 4. I think they drew 4, and the crowd booed the team at full time for a draw, I think against Everton or someone like that. And he looked around the stadium and he was like, "You lot are booing. We're 8th, and you lot are booing." He went at them then, and I thought, and I hear as well record attendance at Brighton this weekend. Apparently, they've never had that many fans in the stadium. But I guess it's the biggest game there, isn't it? Once Potter's done there, he's become the villain.
Pete, I have to disagree with you, man. I think he had every right to talk his talk. Like, the only thing is, he needs to get used to that, because that's what football management is all about. And if Chelsea fans will turn on you very, very quickly, no matter what you win. So
what's funny?
That's how it's going to go. But I don't have an issue with a manager coming out and saying, "Look where I brought you from, and look where you are, and you want to boo me because I took the step up to a Champions League club."
It's insane,
You know what it is, yeah.
You know, we're like 17th for the Hooten.
No, listen. Well, at the end of the day,
securing survival and final day of the season.
At the end of the day,
Murray up top.
Listen, wisdom dictates you take the Chelsea job, right? Let's put no bones about it. Yeah. But it will come with its consequences.
Absolutely,
you got to lick your wounds with it. You just got to take, it's a bit, just got to take your medicine with it. But when they sang "Sacked in the Morning," I must admit, it was the first time where I thought, do you know what? I've just forgotten that Potter's job is not just all the way secure. I had to remember that this is Chelsea. Although it's Todd Bowley, this is Chelsea, and if results do not come, you're gone. Look at the money. Look at your wage bill.
No, Pete, you're going far. He signed all these players while Tuchel was manager. Anyone can get it, bruv.
Anyone can get it.
Anyone can get it.
Anyone can get it. Absolutely. Oscar, let's move on. We've done 40 minutes on Chelsea and Brighton.
Yeah. Apologies, guys. Where are we going
next? I never thought we'd do it. We need to go to Anfield because we saw another defeat, ladies and gentlemen, at the hands of Jesse Marsh and the Leeds United fam. Adrian, at the start of the season and during the course of the season, I've been saying, Liverpool are in a bit of a blip. It's okay. They're off form at this minute in time. Once they get the engine running, they'll be fine. They'll be okay. Since you beat Manchester City, and this is after the Arsenal defeat, I want to say. Was it Arsenal then City? Was that back-to-back weeks? Yeah. You beat West Ham narrowly. 1-0. I think West Ham missed a penalty, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
they did, right? And then you I'm trying to think of the other game. Then of course you lost to Nottingham Forest, which I'm sorry. Any football club that loses to Nottingham Forest this season, you need to have a word with yourselves.
No, you need a flipping inquest. You need like a panorama documentary. That's because
I looked at. By the way, that soccer word reminds me of Christian Pulisic, which reminds me Chelsea's away kit, delicious. Moving on.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And so you lost to Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, and now you're losing at home to Leeds United.
20th and 19th respectively, by the way.
What
at the time?
Okay, when is it safe? When is it safe on this podcast to bring Jurgen Klopp to the front of this blame table? At what point do we do it?
I asked about the 7th season, and I got laughed at. Oh, what's happening?
Because
here,
you know what? I looked at this game.
What's happening here?
And as much as there was some Western super male of defending, there were some shockers that was going on. I did look at look at the story here. This is Leeds United, for crying out loud, right? Millionaire, by the way. Millionaire.
Oh, great game. Great game.
You know my thoughts on him.
Hey, he's tall,
No, Peter. Everything was straight at him. If he conceded any of those goals, I would have said,
listen, I felt like this brother was 5 foot tall. And I see him in the post-match interview. I was like, right, this brother's tall, bro.
Hey, Ernest, when he getting pams, you look like Hornswoggle, my bro.
I'm sorry.
When the goals are raining down at you.
Yeah, everyone excited.
Guys,
and Nick Pope is like 6'6". Couldn't believe it.
Bro.
He's tall. Listen, Meslier,
right? Who's speaking on it?
Well, I'm going to be the first to put on Front Street. I'm looking at this season and I'm saying, Klopp, you need to arrest. You need to arrest the situation. I'm looking at you and saying, you've got to turn this round. Because, like when a defeat comes, it's like, okay, fine, bad day at the office, we'll come again. Oh, okay, you know what? It rained, we'll come back, we'll do it again. Oh, you know what? I got caught in traffic, blah, blah. Now I know you're just somebody who's late and not good. We need to address. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm putting Klopp on the watch to say, fam, if you do not sort this out in between now and the World Cup, questions have to be asked.
What is acceptable?
I thought he was going to go over the board. Yeah,
what is acceptable for Klopp? And this is I'm not saying World Cup. I'm saying, he can do it before the World Cup. But what's acceptable before, say, New Year's Eve?
In terms of?
Where should Liverpool be in the top 10 by New Year's Eve?
Minimum 6th.
So New Year's Eve is 5 games away, or like 4 games away is New Year's Eve. It's in 4
The
games.
reason I say minimum 6, do you know why I say minimum 6? Because the gap between 6th and 3rd is not big.
Yeah, but guys, we gotta stop looking at this Premier League table. It lies. Until February, nothing is real.
No, but currently they're in hell.
Yeah, but
currently they're in hell.
Ernest, do you want me to ask you a question?
Yeah.
Win 3 games in a row for a bloody start, and then we'll talk.
There you
Let
go.
me see some consistency.
Win the matches.
Win 3 flipping games in a row for starters for a playoff. Before we talk about future, before we talk about league positions, let's see 3 good games of football in a row.
Do you want to? Liverpool are the most inconsistent team in the league. That's not an exaggeration. They've won 4,
and it's
drawn
literally
4, and they've lost 4. This team,
and it's literally
That's Jay-Z's last album, you know.
It's Jay-Z's album. They don't know if they're coming or going.
Quite literally, it could be worse. It could be worse because had Alisson not been there for some of them draws, boy, there could have been a lot worse position. So they need to be thankful.
He's their player.
But Oscar, you know, you're saying, guys, the table lies, the league lies, blah, blah, blah. And I agree. But Oscar, we've played 12 games. They've got 16 points. That's a disgrace. Number one. Number two, from the top 4 now, which is Newcastle United, Oscar, they are 8 points behind Newcastle in 4th. 8.
They'll make that up in no time. They'll make that up over the Christmas break.
Oscar, had you said that, if you told me this was the 2021 Liverpool or the 2020 Liverpool, I agree with you. You have to open your eyes and look at 2022, 2023. Because this team, I don't know who these guys are.
Can I answer the question? Because the question was about Klopp and blah, 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 blah. What Klopp needs to do, because I said he needs to arrest the situation. The situation that he needs to arrest is that midfield because it is absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, I don't care who they play in there, whether it's Curtis, whether it's Harvey Elliott, whether it's Fabinho. We were talking about Makelele earlier, bro. What's the opposite of Makelele? Because that's what Fabinho looks like right now in DM. Yeah,
Robbie Savage.
Yeah, Robbie Savage on a bad day. It is stinky. Now, I don't understand. I still think Liverpool are Liverpool, and I still think Klopp is Klopp. So I'm still not even on the train of it's a massive their season's in ruins. I'm just pattern your midfield, maybe sign someone in January, because Lord knows they need it. They need help. They keep trying to.
But Oscar, I told you, lot, when I saw Henderson lift the Champions League trophy, I vomited because I could not believe this midfield won the Champions League. The midfield won the league.
Man are telling me they missed Wijnaldum. What? The same Wijnaldum I watched at Newcastle and the same one I watched in Holland.
No, Peter. Bro, do you know why? Do you know what Wijnaldum
and the same one at PSG.
Signed as a number 10 for Newcastle to save their creative woes. He played central midfield 6 and 8 for Liverpool. Somebody needs to talk to me here.
Peter, do you know what Wijnaldum was? Wijnaldum was bangers and mash. No thrills, no spills, no delight.
It's nutritious.
It's nutritious.
But it's not at the higher echelons of quality food.
But it will fill you. It will do the job it needs to do. You'll get from A to B. Now, Harvey Elliott, he's flipping. He's caviar.
Hey, you see, of the two that you lot have in midfield, you see Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. Curtis Jones needs to cut, bro.
No, but you see, Ernest, right? As we were speaking on Loftus Cheek.
No.
Here's what I need to say. Here's what I need to say though, because I've been tooting this horn for a very long time. The board have let Klopp down. They've let the city of Liverpool down. They've let everyone down because Oscar, you can't walk into championships, fighting for. Liverpool have probably got over 90 points on about 4 occasions when they should never be there, right? But then you win a league, and then you walk in with the squad they walked in with last year. City then win the league, and look what they went and done, and then look what you done.
Oscar, I'm very interested to see what Oscar has to say.
Let's hear this.
Pete, have you heard that press conference where Jurgen Klopp was crying? You're probably going to say which one because he cries in everyone. But there was this one press conference where he came out after a loss this season or a draw. I can't remember. Adrian, you remember which one it was? And he comes out and says, "Oh yes, you were right. I was wrong." To all of the press, because all summer he was happy with his squad, he's happy with this midfield, he's happy with the players that he has.
Oscar, I need you to reload because Liverpool fans told me after they beat City in the Community Shield that this team, this squad is good enough. I heard this at least 5 times.
And Peter, Jurgen Klopp has said on multiple occasions he is happy with the squad. Like he
said it all summer.
I mean, no, but my thing is, what a man says and what a man does are 2 different things. Because he did bid 60 million quid for
Tchouaméni. That brother ain't surviving in these streets.
How long?
Listen.
How long ago did Tchouaméni go to Real Madrid?
Exactly.
Early summer.
That was time ago. If that's the point, you could have got him.
Oscar, he did sign Saul, bruv. Did he not? Not Saul, sorry. What's my man's name? The one at Juve. Arthur Melo. That's right. Arthur, right?
Hey, that's what we call a dud.
No, that was a dud. That was a gimmick. That was a
But for me, I saw it as a cry for help. It's a cry for help.
No. You know when somebody goes to Colombia and they hollow a coconut and stuff it with cocaine? That's what Arthur Melo was. It wasn't a brother.
And I want to speak about this, because when your club, because we've seen this at all of our clubs individually, when your club wants to prioritize signing a player, they need to be serious with their lives, You can't tell me you want a midfielder and you're going after players like Arta, you're signing Saul on deadline day, you're signing Zakaria on deadline day. You can see why I've got this passion right now. Because if you need to get a midfielder, you get it done. Like, Tchouaméni wasn't available. So what? You make it your priority to sign someone else. Nah, man.
But Liverpool in this, what you have to remember though, Liverpool, like if you pictured Liverpool like say, Liverpool are not City, Chelsea, United with the P's. They're not them. And I get you. Chelsea, City, and United will have 3 targets for one position. If we can't get target 1, we'll go target 2, we'll go target 3, right? Whereas Liverpool have 1 and they go for broke. And if it don't work out, they don't have the luxury of looking at other.
They spent 86 million on Darwin Nunez.
Peter, they spent 80 million on Darwin Nunez.
They spent 80 million on Darwin Nunez.
And I'm not saying they're broke, but what I'm saying is that you look at,
Pete, if you don't have the P's, why would you sign in another position that is not really priority like the other one is?
That's fair, but they lost money.
And then you drop 80 racks.
But true, but they lost money. They were in a Chelsea situation where they had to cover actually more than one position at the same time, and it was a case of if they don't cover Mane, what do you do now?
No, but
they had to cover it.
Pete, this is my question. You see, Tchouaméni, he didn't come. Cool. Was the next best option? Yes.
It's like King Henry VIII. It's having a flipping banquet.
No, I don't think you understand. You see, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of context. Saturday, I'm at the barbershop. I'm working. I told Diallo, Leeds are beating Liverpool. He said, eh? I said, bro. He said, he said, how? I said, not because they're better than Liverpool, but currently the kryptonite to this Liverpool team is a high press, youngsters, and pace. That's all he needs.
I just had an epiphany. That's what he said.
He's right.
He said.
Bro, I watched the Chelsea game. I said, nah, Leeds are beating Liverpool. And he said, what? With the Anfield record? I said, bro, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But today...
He said, with the Anfield record?
No, it's true. It's true. 100%. Bro, 70 games not out. It was.
Today, the streets will be filled with blood. Listen. So Tchouaméni doesn't come. Are you telling me that Arteta is the next best option?
Ernie, can I be so real with you?
Adrian, wait.
Yeah.
Mane's gone. You're telling me in the world of football, there are 8 billion people on this planet. You are telling me Darwin Nunez was the next... Because I'm not even going to say Liverpool fans told me this, but Klopp is known for recruitment. He doesn't get it wrong like this, guys. Klopp doesn't get it wrong like this. Darwin Nunez, like I've always said, the guy's positioning is world class, but he's a IQ is in hell. He is awful. Not a football player. Yeah, he will score 20 goals simply because he stands in the right position. He's a bad Mario Gomez. But with the rest of them, are you telling me that if you can't plan A, these were plan B? Tofiaka. Let it not be true. Let it not be true.
Oh man.
God forbid.
I want to focus on the game a little bit. I've watched the first goal about 7 times, and I need to know who was at fault for that goal. Because I don't know who it was.
Joseph Pepito Gomez.
Because
Get into it.
Because I'm looking at the keeper's in the wrong position.
No, he's not.
Joe Gomez has a terrible back pass. Where's the rest of the defense?
Robin.
Why is Rodrigo Roman free? I'm still questioning it. What happened here?
You're asking too many questions. It's awful from Gomez.
You've asked a lot. Yeah, you've asked a lot.
Diabolical from Gomez. I don't know what he's playing at. He's playing the ball blind into the box, into his own box. You don't even play the ball blind into the other box. What are you playing at? No, it's 1,000% Gomez's fault. That's it.
2 things I learned playing football as a 9-year-old. Number 1, you never pass the ball without looking at the opponent, the player that you're looking to pass to. Number 1. What? Number 2.
Wait. Not even if you're Emerson Royale.
Oh, if you're definitely if you're Emerson Royale, definitely for him. But number 2, and I know football's changed, people do what they want. But number 2, the idea that you would pass across goal was unheard of. And there was
a sin.
Yes, and you know what it is, like it's sin. But like when the Bible says he gives them over, the reason Alisson slips is because when he saw the stupidity that took place, he said, "I have to finish this job. You want to start like this? No. I'll finish it for you."
I've got a theory. I don't even think Alisson slipped. I think he done a little Dirk thing. I feel like he fell down to his knees when the law came because he couldn't believe it. He saw his life flash before his eyes.
I bet he probably couldn't believe a ball was coming to him at that pace in the wrong direction.
I promise he threw himself to the floor. I promise.
He couldn't believe his eyes. And yet the second goal, because even, when Klopp has to talk about a passage of play, he is fuming. Because when they said about, what's happening with Liverpool, it goes, well, when you defend like that for the second goal, you can't expect to win football matches. I said, he went straight for the bullet, but he took one out on Verge. And
but guys, what, as the title said, OMG, what happened to Virgil?
Hey, what's going on with Virgil van Dijk? What's the latest?
Listen, we have to call a spade a spade. And for me, the reason why I rated Virgil van Dijk so highly for so long, and the reason why genuinely, for a large period of time, for me was the best centre-back I've ever seen in my whole life, is because crap like that didn't happen. Virgil van Dijk would give you 8.5 out of 10, 57 out of 60 games a season. But the fact of the matter is, the body of poor work is too much now. It's far too much now, and we have to come to the realization that Virgil van Dijk is having a really, really bad season this season. Because I'm so sorry, like pedestrian defender like that is unacceptable. It's completely out of, you see how? Go on.
No, carry on. I'm just astounded.
Brother, and you see how I said against Haaland, he was defending like it was flipping the WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Brother, against Leeds, he was defending like it was a house show in North Carolina. like he just turned up 8 minutes before the show started. Like he just there to take photos of the fans. That's not defending. That's not defending.
He always runs. He's on his heels. I mean, that's a sin. But like, he always runs like he's had a big bowl of pasta. Like there's so much weight. There's suppressants.
No. When he gets going, it's quick though.
When he gets going, he's quick.
He had a polo picante here, man.
Well, he's got a polo picante. He's got a carbonara. Like it's like, like even a bus has acceleration after a while, right? But like at the beginning, like he's the initial.
Wait. He's a locomotive.
He's locomotive.
Hey, can I read a comment?
Go for it.
From a Liverpool fan. Endo says Virgil van Wasio.
Oh, here we go.
He's the epitome.
So far.
Everything that's wrong with the LFC team this season, it's like he doesn't want to get his hair out of place. Some face man you. A face man is one of the funniest insults ever.
Peter, you see what I mean? You see what I mean about the dishonesty and the fickleness of man?
Yeah. It's crazy still. That's crazy.
How dare you call him that? I'm offended. I'm deeply offended. I know he's been crap this season. What?
I said he's the epitome of what
But
is
this
of
is
everything
what
that is wrong.
He's the epitome.
See what you're experiencing. We've had to experience this with Liverpool fans for the past 4 years, where on one hand, Endo's going overboard on the negative. You lot have gone overboard on the positive. This is absolutely where we've been as non-Liverpool fans. Yeah, man, we're calling him the greatest centre back of all time.
Yeah.
This is what the man that were calling him, and now he's having a fall off. Be real.
He was. From what I saw, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He had
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Fair enough.
No, he wasn't. No, he was never the greatest centre back of all time. The window, bro. The window of quality that he's had, has been shorter than these other men's careers.
Has it?
Let's not sit here and cap. Yes,
so real.
Virgil van Dijk.
Is it over? Is it over?
Hold on. Virgil van Dijk. was the best centre back in the world for how many years?
Huh?
Virgil van Dijk was the best back in the world for how many years?
I'll probably say 2018 to 2022 plus. He actually had a run at Southampton before that. He didn't just pop. Liverpool didn't just wake up one day and say, we'll
go. Were you rating man at Southampton like that?
He was Premier League Team of the Year at Southampton as well. Like, he's had a career.
Were you rating man at Southampton like that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
This is
I did.
This is Captain America.
2016 Adrian is back, guys. I'm loving
it. I had no doubts about it. I didn't.
Ernest, in his defense, do you remember Liverpool's centre back bearing in 2016? If you remember what they had.
Listen. Virgil van Dijk was a bad boy, but there was so much overboard chat. Wait, what?
Wow. Everyone said we could be 18 and AD would back the process. He's a brown skin tie.
Wow. That's outrageous. You know what, guys? On Liverpool, to arrest the situation, the next 5 games, well, we won't even include, we'll include 5 because it goes up to January 2nd. Spurs away next.
Are they winning?
Southampton, they have to win. They have to win that game. It's non-negotiable, to use Mikel's words, right? Spurs away, Southampton at home, Villa away, Leicester at home, Brentford away. I'm expecting 5 wins out of 5. That's when Ernest
I'm not expecting 5 wins.
Are you expecting or are you hoping?
I'm not expecting 5.
No. If I
well, how many of those games are away, and how many away games have you won?
2 are away, 3 are away.
Okay.
However, to answer your question, Ernest, like, okay, what does Klopp need to do? And I'm saying he needs 5 and 5. Otherwise, I'm going to be putting on the Jurgen press on Jurgen Klopp. That's for damn sure.
And all I'm saying is, I don't expect 5 wins. You can't. You don't just make this problem disappear.
Sure. No, I think what Peter's trying to say is that the standard for Liverpool right now should be 5 wins. But will it be 5 wins?
Wait. Yeah. Robin, look at the dross I just named.
I know you named them.
Right?
But do you honestly expect them
to they didn't beat Spurs home or away last season?
But for example, right, just like they beat Man City after getting beat by Arsenal, I expect to bounce back at Spurs. And Spurs will give you the ball. So Spurs are in big trouble, right? Then Southampton do me a favour at home. Villa, did you not watch? We're going to get onto Villa very soon. And I'm going to address all of you guys who back Villa, all of you guys that told me that Villa are not as bad as it is. Steven Gerrard's made it worse. Did you watch them on the weekend? Then Leicester City, they're in the bottom 3. I don't need to say anymore. And Brentford away. Oh, turn it in.
Brentford away. They didn't win there last season.
They didn't beat Tottenham home or away last season.
They'll beat them this season, Ernest. Don't you worry about that. They'll beat them this season.
Okay. We'll see.
They'll beat them. What I'm saying is there'll be a bounce back. Of course, we know
Emery as well.
Terrible. We know Liverpool. What's it called? We know Liverpool are in dire straits.
What games do they have? So they have 2 games left before the World Cup, right?
So before the World Cup, yes, it's Spurs away, Southampton at home.
I see an L and a draw.
You're kidding me.
I don't know which games. I don't know which games. I don't know which games. No
one here can confidently say they see 2 W's.
I'll be the first. I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I'll be the first to tell you on Front Street. They'll bounce back against Spurs. I think there will be a reaction against Spurs in general. And then Southampton at home. Do me a favour.
No, the reason being I say because I think Liverpool right now, they need the World Cup to come in more than ever because they need to just
but their players are playing in the World Cup.
That's the thing. Guys, this idea that teams need a World Cup, by the way, if your players are playing in the World Cup, what are we discussing here? Because there's no pre-season.
Going to Brazil. No. Van Dijk's going to Holland. Robertson's going to Scotland.
It's not about the players. The manager needs to fast.
Are Scotland in the World Cup?
The World Cup is for fasting.
I don't think so. I think Ukraine knocked them out, you know.
Ukraine gave them.
Scotland.
Them at Hampden.
Scotland are going nowhere. Scotland are going nowhere.
But regardless, also, I hope Thiago's not going because last game he had a flipping tetanus infection like he's a rock star or something. What, brother? He had an ear infection, so he missed the game.
Oh, funny.
Was he skinny dipping in the Lake District or something? What do you mean an ear infection? You're a Premier League centre midfielder. Good.
Oh, the Merseyside Docks.
Oh, Thiago.
But even though he didn't even have a great game as well when he came
no one did. None of them did. They were awful. Liverpool were awful. Although had like 22 shots on goal, 10 on target. But nonetheless, Meslier played, made some outstanding saves as well.
You see what makes you sick, man. He said, man,
he's looking at the source, bro. Anything else before we move on from Liverpool?
Yeah, one last comment from Mirad. He says, I predict it here. Klopp has a minimum of 1 calendar year to sort this out if it carries on into next season. Curtains. I mean, that's not exactly Nostradamus stat.
Oh, wow.
It's not.
What did you do?
It's a year to turn it around. I'm sorry, that's every manager in the Premier League. What is that? Like, what is that?
Man said he's Prophet Samuel,
Who's gonna have a year of bad form and just get away with it?
Dear. All right.
Can we talk
about... Yes.
Last point. You see Darwin. I'm buying the stocks now. I'm putting it in.
Listen, there's no stocks left. No.
What do you mean?
None of you lot are allowed any stocks.
No, you saw. No, Adrian, no. I have a receipt from you from buying the watch on Darwin Nunez.
Yeah.
You can't sell stocks now.
It's okay.
These two, they sold stocks. Me, I never sold stocks. I never said a bad word about Darwin.
Guys, I remember being a one-man soldier, like I'm friggin', you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the Undertaker. I remember being the only guy back in this don, and I'm thinking, I've bought all the shares. I bought them all.
I've never said a bad word about Darwin.
You can't have none.
I've never said a bad word about Darwin.
You never said anything good. I said
you clap goals for Liverpool Football Club.
Oscar, he's going to be a beast. Let me tell you. He's going to be
I'll give you 2 for 1. I'll give you 2 for 1.
I'm believing it, man. I believe it. No, it is. He's so black. He's got aura. Like,
Oscar, I'm telling you, when them shots turn into goals that he did against Leeds, by the way, it's going to be very, very different.
Yeah, you're making faces, but what people need to realize about football, the 9 is back. Yeah, the 9 is back.
The return of the 9, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
9. Come on.
Wait. Is Adrian hyping his gums? Return of the 9, baby?
No. Do you know? Ernie,
we
didn't even mention the chance he had in the game.
He's awful. He's an awful footballer. So Peter, that's why I'm buying the stocks now. Because I saw those 2 misses that should have. In fact, he didn't even miss it. His first touch was so bad.
So I'm an old man today. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said all of this. Why are you buying stock?
Oh, because there's one man there.
They're losing. They want to lose money for the sake of losing money.
How many goals does Darwin have already?
He's got like 5.
There's Ernest, 2 words. Jurgen Klopp. That's all I have to say on that matter. Don't worry. Give it time. Don't worry.
The same Jurgen Klopp that signed Arteta.
No, but he didn't sign
Why did he pick and choose when the manager signed a player when it was a club?
Ernest, I told you this. He wanted Tchouaméni.
So he signed Arteta instead.
there's 72 midfielders better than Arthur Melo that I can think of right now off the top of my head.
So why didn't he sign one of them?
Man said there's an English. You said there's an English pyramid of players.
No, but I don't understand.
Annie, CM is the easiest position to recruit for. Are you
So
physical?
why
Can you tackle? Can you pass? That's it.
Do you know what? Liverpool need to
Benacer from AC Milan, Tonali, Basuma.
So why didn't he sign a good one?
Sign Calcedo.
I think the board have taken his legs from under him because he clearly wanted somebody.
He wanted Darwin Nunez and got Darwin Nunez.
No, but he wanted Tchouaméni, and then they said crack on until we got injuries, and then they just
so he signed another injury-prone midfielder.
Why did he come out and say he was wrong?
Sorry.
Why did he come out in the media and
say no? But listen, listen to this. Before the summer holidays even happened, he's put 60 million pounds on the table for a CM. So he's seen that there's a problem, and you mean to tell me what? The book like that deal's gone down and then he's okay? I don't think so. I think we need to read between the lines.
Definitely.
Fair enough, man. That's fair enough.
Let's move on, Oscar. Let's go to teams that won this weekend. Yeah, let's kick things off. We'll go to Old Trafford. We'll go to Old Trafford because I think a very important 1-0 win against West Ham. Yeah. Manchester United, getting the victory, getting a clean sheet. There seems to be a new spirit. Mr. Ten Hag said the spirit is great at Manchester United right now.
But he still dissed the players. He still said they're crap.
What did he say about the players?
Good.
What did he say about the players?
He said the spirit is there, but the performance needs to improve.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Is that what he said?
Wow.
I just said enough.
But look, Man United are getting wins. They're getting wins under the belt. They are in. I want to say, what position are you guys in now? Top 5.
Fifth. It's the first time we've had 5 clean sheets in a row in a very long
5
time.
in a row.
That must be all comps though.
That can't be in a row. We conceded to Chelsea.
Who?
I can't remember. It was just like something like that.
It must be all comps.
Yeah.
No, but even if it's all comps, we played Chelsea last week.
No, even if it's all comps, includes Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think it's like
we played Chelsea last week.
Hey, who made that stat, man? Where'd that come from?
Nah, I saw something about like bare clean sheets. But anyways, I digress.
Thank you.
What you call it? Yeah, no, big 3 points. First half, again, back to the sermon, put the ball in the net. We had many chances. CR38 now, because that's how old he is, missed chances left, right, and centre, but we were cooking them. And then second half, I just felt like once we got the goal, the players started to regress back into last year, just starting to panic. And then the subs came on. Scott McTominay, you already know my thoughts about him. And we just literally sat back and invited pressure. Harold Maguire is a sorry excuse for the captain, but he saved us at the end. I said that's
outrageous.
He did save us in the end.
That's a harsh way to kick it off.
David De Gea, so he's the worst captain we've ever had, and I've said this many times. Yeah, very true. Go back to the pods. You go back and go rewind. Anyways,
is he a worst captain?
I think he means as captain of the club, not people that get the band because the captain's injured or whatever. Right. As in actual Man United front captain. When you look at the last
official captain at one point,
he was vice, wasn't he?
Wasn't who?
Pogba.
He said Poggy. He was vice.
That vice captain.
Mourinho stripped him
to Maguire.
Oh,
Maguire's been captain since he's been here.
See?
Yeah, there's like a after that 3 months, they're like, just gave it to him.
Like, that's a boss move. I walked in United, they said captain.
From Leicester, you know?
From Leicester.
Anyways,
put your medals on the table.
That's a privilege.
That's why privilege.
FC.
Anyways, David De Gea quite literally played like David, not Dave. Very impressive. And literally saved us from actually conceding. Because I say this now, Pete. This time last season, we would have conceded. Definitely would have conceded. So I'm happy that we stuck on.
You think De Gea's improved? Yeah, he's become better.
Improved is the wrong word. It's the wrong word. I feel like he's in form, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Fair dues.
But yeah, I can't really say much because at the end of the day, after what we saw on Saturday, all I cared about was 3 points, and we got them. And the more this Man United play, and the more we see that our starting 11, which is pretty good, the more I actually believe in this manager. Like he's proved many people. Like, listen, I'm not here to play around. I'm literally here to get as much as I can. And then in the summer, get rid. And he's already identified who he wants to get rid and how he wants to get rid and play his way. So I believe in him. I do believe in him. But we just have to be very mindful not to sit down after 1-0. Because if you look at the last few games in Europa League and in the league, like we've been on players. We've been actually trying to go from mid-0 to 90. So I don't think it was the players that were tired or they just thought 1-0, that was it. And one more thing before I open up to everything. Whoever has been teaching Marcus Rashford headers needs a pay rise, because I have never seen Rashford this consistent with headers in a very, actually, at all. So whoever he's hired to learn how to header, like,
rumor has it it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Last question. Was Rashford particularly bad at headers, or was he just not getting on the end of crosses? Like, what is the improvement?
He said in his United career he scored 7.
But like, was he missing?
That's more than I thought, you know.
He was missing, and even when he was missing, and when he actually connected, it wasn't powerful. Like these are like actual like proper headers now.
Yeah, man.
I don't know who he's finding training. Yeah, but them headers are like literally, even though the ones that thing he saved.
But he's toxic, right?
For sure.
Oh, for sure. We can talk about this man every Monday.
Yeah, let's stop today.
Yeah.
Oh no! I want to open up the phone lines. I want to open up the phone lines to CR7's lawyers, and I want to ask them why he didn't score this week, because he started and he got chances and he got service and he didn't score. I'm going to open up the phone lines. When they want to answer the phone, I'll be here.
Ernie, give him 4 games in a row. If I don't see,
so now it's about games in a row.
Adrian,
you just live up.
You need consistency.
Peter, Ernest asked why Ronaldo didn't score this week. But he scored on Thursday, my boy.
He scored the 3rd goal in a 3-0.
Hey, okay. In the group stage, man.
And also, he's played every Europa League game. That was his first goal in open play. So talk to me. Why hasn't he scored in the other games against Ammonia, Sheriff, and Real Sociedad? Let's talk. Let's open up the phone line.
Ernest, he needs a preseason. He needs a preseason. To be fair,
the preseason he missed. Oh, yeah, the preseason
he needs it. He needs it.
I thought no. I'm not having that, Peter. Because last week you said last week he's CR7. You said last week he's CR7. He doesn't need a preseason. He just turns up.
No, Robin.
He did. And now he needs a preseason. Now he needs a preseason.
I need you to repeat what you just said again, because
he literally said last part, and I remembered.
Thank you.
Well, I will say, Manchester United.
These men are nowhere to be found.
Ernest. All right. Manchester United will get to the Europa League final, and CR7 will be the top goal scorer in the Europa League.
We're getting to the Europa League final. Oh, okay.
Ernest, have you seen the dross in this competition? Have you watched?
Are we beating Barcelona if we play them in the playoffs?
Yes.
Why are you so confident?
You could do
because I don't think Barcelona have the. They haven't got the.
Barcelona field Marcus Alonso and Hector Bellerin in 2022.
No, bro.
That organization.
No. With Man United, we have to take any steps of supposed progress. You have to take them with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Until Manchester United can show me consistently, because Oli did half. Oli finished in the top 4 twice in 3 years, yeah, but did not win a trophy. So don't show me finishing in the top 4 and you tell me it's progress if we can't capitalize on that. Manchester United are not there yet. We need to calm down. You see what I'm saying? Only such a Debbie Downer. Be happy, man. These are the same people that when we start losing, they're going to start asking questions about why Ten Hag doing what he's doing. Why can't we just be patient? Because it took Alex Ferguson, yeah? It took Alex Ferguson between 86 and 89. a Debbie Downer in 2022. These are the kind of it's like I don't even know what to say, man.
But anyway, question to you and Robin. What don't you like? I want to get some cons because I like this. But what I know you don't think Ten Hag's perfect. What is it that you feel like he needs to improve on or add to with the current situation at the club?
I think that what the things that Ten Hag needs to improve on are quite minimal, if I'm being honest, because so far I don't think he's put that much of a foot wrong. Because in the beginning, I said the way we're playing is better in terms of build up. This is the best. This is the end of thank you in big 2022. I said Debbie Downer, but flipping, what's it called? I felt like we didn't cross enough in the first 5 games, and that's improving, slowly but surely. But I feel like what we saw on Sunday was, I even tweeted it, the so-called quality we were told we had under Oli. All the Brexit players that we have, like you take off Eriksen and Casemiro, and you see the difference. The gulf in quality between what we have that's starting and what we have that's off the bench is insane. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think Ten Hag needs to be able to release a lot of players and bring in what he wants. I'm hearing a lot of talk about, Cody Gakpo is like 30 million in January that they're asking for, and he's having the season of his life so far. A bit of a Dutch Rashford, if I'm being honest, but I'll take anyone at this current moment over Jadon Sancho.
By the way, Ernest, if they're talking about Cody Gakpo, they need to look on the other wing because Xavi Simons, holy smokes! If they think Cody Gakpo, bro, if they think Cody
he cooked on Thursday.
Bro, not just Thursday. In both legs, obviously, I watched him closely because obviously I watched Gakpo closely because of all the noise that's been surrounded around him. But he underwhelmed at the Emirates. Xavi was on stuff at the Emirates.
Is he a wing? I've always thought he was essentially midfielder. Okay.
Well, he was definitely playing off the wing, and he was on business. He was busy.
I went on his Wikipedia. I thought it was a glitch. I think it was like 8 goals in 11 games. I said,
you came from Barcelona. You came from Barcelona's academy, bro. There's a reason.
I think he's still a PSG player, actually. Ain't he on loan?
Oh, PSG.
Yeah, I thought he was PSG's academy.
He started off at Barcelona. He's Spanish.
So he started off at Barcelona, youth group, and then went to PSG's youth group. And now he's at PSG.
But forget Gakpo. That's the one that you need to be looking at. He's busy.
The thing is, my number one options. You've heard me say his name on this podcast last year, maybe the year before. I want Victor Osimhen. That's who I want. Is what I'm saying.
Don't get me started on Italian football. Please don't.
But he's going to cost us 100 million if he has the season I think he's going to have this year. Is what I'm saying, because Martial's back in training today as we speak. But again, just like Ruben, we can't trust him. We can't trust Tony Martial to be fit all season. And then you have Marcus Rashford, who is best as a winger and still not as much as Rashford is scoring headers. You saw what happened to Chelsea. You saw what happened when he came on against Newcastle. His movement is decent. He's ferocious enough. He's explosive enough. But we cannot, what's it called? Guarantee that he's going to do his job. So in terms of Ten Hag, our starting 11 has a few problems in terms of Eriksen is not strong. Like, he's weak. He's physically weak. Like, he's not. He gets bullied a lot. I feel in midfield. So I think that if Eriksen can play 10, in a perfect world, he plays 10. In a perfect world, we get someone like who he wanted in the summer, which was what's his guy's name? De Jong.
Frankie.
So Frankie De Jong as a ball carrier with Casemiro. That Wolves situation, we need to capitalize and go for Ruben Neves. Finally, guys, just do it, because I think that he can replace Casemiro and he can play with Casemiro. We have a level of robustness in midfield. The guy's a very good passer of the ball, good anchor. I ain't got a problem with that. So our starting 11 needs to be improved. But Ten Hag himself, I don't necessarily feel like I've seen red flags at this stage of the season to say, oh, if he fixes this, we improve. Because you've seen what's happened to players that don't do what he says. He will be in Maguire's bum all day and not start him. Like, he'll talk about Ronaldo, I need you, and not start him. So clearly they're not doing things that he wants. So I ain't got a problem with Ten Hag, because I feel like for once, like we have. What does that even mean?
Wow.
He's lighting it.
So like I feel like when it comes to he's ruthless enough to drop Maguire. People don't talk about Ronaldo, yeah, bro. Donny van de Beek does not play for Eric Ten Hag. That's the man he knows.
I'm sorry, who?
He was he came back from injury, I think like a month ago, and he had his first minutes in Europa League, and he played 20 minutes, which is more than whatever Ollie played for him. So
he's an academy player.
He actually got minutes.
They talking about an academy kid. Well, who's this Donny lot?
Must be.
Listen, to be honest,
these are the minutes on offer for midfielders in the Premier League. These are the minutes that they're getting.
Honestly, Oscar don't do this.
If I was Ten Hag, I actually would put him in the 10 because obviously we don't have Bruno versus Villa, so I will actually put him there.
And I'm not gonna lie to you.
You won't need one. Don't worry.
I'm very grateful we don't because he annoyed me yesterday.
Yeah,
he annoyed me so much yesterday.
Yeah.
Like Bruno's performance against Tottenham was the best performance I've seen in the United shirt probably ever. Like Bruno had so many key passes. Forget the goal. Like his link-up play was good, his distribution was good, his vision, like he did everything I want him to do. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the Bruno I want to see. But you see him, he's too emotional. Like you saw second half against Chelsea, when he's frustrated, he'll kick the ball to Rose's head. And it's like, bro, there's 3 red shirts in front of you, bro. Like, stop losing the ball like that. So yeah, I'm a bit here and there. Like, I'm not fussed that Bruno's not playing. I just want us to have like a reason to say if Casemiro at some point after January transfer window, if Casemiro's tired, we can bring him on and put someone else on. But if you're telling me that it's Fred and McTominay, it's long. It's long.
Don't worry, you won't need much against Villa. You'll be fine.
I do think we'll beat them. I don't think they're good.
And it's like garbage. Manchester United have kept their record against West Ham at home. Haven't lost to West Ham since 2007.
Shout out to
Carlos Tevez.
Shout out to Alessandro. Shout out to David De Gea.
Also, I can't believe I have to say this again, but what's my man that hates Pogba? What is he on? Did you see his comments today? Raheem Nunez, yeah.
What's he said now?
He has something against Man United number 6, but he said today that he cannot trust Lisandro Martinez and he's terrible on the ball. Why are Man United signing him? I said, okay.
When did he say that?
When did he say this?
Today on Top Sport.
Can I be honest with you? Like you just have to disregard because he's just doubling down. It's either he's doubling down blindly or he hasn't watched the guy play football this season. It's one of the two. He's either doing it for clickbait or he just doesn't watch football. Is he going senile, you think?
Yeah.
That's a bit
because Adrian, I think it's time we discuss the stupidity that comes out of his mouth. Because at this point, are you trolling now? Like no, because and I mean this in all seriousness. Is Graham Souness losing his mind?
He might be.
Because I don't understand.
How old is he? 67?
I don't understand the conclusions that you come to with the way you answer questions. What the hell do you look at in a centre back that you see from Lisandro, and you think to yourself, "Oh, this guy is not good enough"? You have watched Maguire for 3 years, and this conversation has never come in your mouth. Pause. But Lisandro Martinez.
Big pause. Whoa.
Yeah, big pause.
Big pause.
But for example, at the shop here, a man that Arsenal fan that me and him are cool. Like we were talking about Lisandro, Liverpool game. We're talking about Lisandro. Said, he's short. The Premier League is gonna eat him alive. So I asked him about him on Saturday. He said, "Hey, he's good, you know." I said, "You better too fast." Yeah. So this is the thing, yeah. So we had a discussion and we said, what's it called? Who is Lisandro top 10 in the Premier League centre backs currently? Not ever. I'm just saying currently.
That's a no-brainer, isn't it?
I said he's top 5. I said Lisandro Martinez is top 5 centre backs in the league this season.
Ernest, news on that.
Let's hear that 5.
I'm not going to tell you my 5.
I'll be real. I think he's been the best.
None of that, yeah. But then he asked, he was like, what about Virgil? I said, you can't tell me Van Dijk has been top 5 this season.
Oh my! Yeah. Are we talking about who's been top 5 this season?
At the moment? Yeah, of the season.
Yeah, this season. At the moment, right now.
He's probably been the best centre back.
I'm saying from August.
He's either first or second. He's either first or second. Yeah,
he's been quality, bro. I've got to put people like, I'm not going to tell you my 5. I'm going to say people like Sven Botman for Newcastle. The guy's come from Lille and he's been excellent.
Great,
you know what I'm saying? He's been sick. Then you got to look at one of the Arsenal centre backs. Do you see what I'm saying? At least
for me, Saliba's been number 1. He's been the best centre back in the Premier League. Then Saliba's been amazing.
You see the Saliba
thing, number 1?
Yeah, for me.
I feel like Saliba has young moments that go under the carpet. But he has a lot of moments because he's young. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like he's the poster boy. Like, he's everybody's favorite. But when you look at it, there's a couple of things that happen where you're like,
Like, for example, the Southampton goal last week. Like, as thingy, I don't know, well, he wasn't there. So I feel like there's moments where he.
Yeah, like, what was he?
He's like that, but it just goes under the carpet.
Gabriel, but what was he?
Equally, like, there's no centre back you can't pick moments of this season.
Absolutely, that's a good point.
So
I got to give credit to Frank Lampard. There's 2 Everton centre halves. They've got the second best defence in the league.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Cody and Tarkowski. My God, look where Wolves are. Look where Everton are.
Yeah, facts. So essentially, yeah. My point is, like, I don't hate Graham Souness. I think he's a weirdo, but I don't hate the brother. I just wonder if he has kept his sanity, because some of the things he says are just, it's not anything. It's just stupid. Like, you're not using your intelligence to speak about football matters. When you say things like, personally, I've never rated Casemiro. He's a steady Eddie. He played in the midfield of 2 other good midfielders. But every other English player you want to rate for winning stuff, like just Steven Gerrard, who I can say in 2009, Liverpool's best midfield, he played with 2 quality midfielders. Does that take credit away from Steven Gerrard? So my thing is, either you're trolling or you're being an idiot. You're being an absolute idiot. And I personally think it's the latter. Personally,
I'm noticing as well that he's no longer appearing on Sky Sports as often.
Yeah, Shaw's been good as well.
There might be something in that as well.
Endo spot on. Fabian Shaw's been spot on. Yeah.
Anderson as well is brilliant. I think Newcastle have the best defense in the league.
Hey, I'll take Joachim Anderson. You know.
Yeah, Anderson's good.
Yeah. I'll take him still.
He was a bit of a coup, you know.
Yeah, but last thing I want to say about Man United is that for the Ronaldo lawyers, your boy's walking off from saying hi to Gary Neville because he criticised him. If that's you lot's goal, that's calm.
Do you know what though? No, do you know what? Here's my theory on that. Here's my theory on that very quickly. Look at Neville's face. He already knows he's going to get blanked. I think they've had a conversation clearly off camera.
And regardless, that's just weird.
That would surprise me, you know.
It depends what the conversation was, because we don't know how Ronaldo feels by what he said, right? So I genuinely think, because I think, what did Neville say? He has to leave Man United, right? And the truth is, like, it looked like Neville already knew he wasn't going to get like padded. He already knew it. You see his face and everything.
But it's still weird.
It's weird.
It is because just because Oscar, look at the man's age, by the way. You're the oldest player in the squad, and because a guy criticized you, Gary Neville said,
publicly.
What do you mean?
Like,
he's a pundit.
He's a pundit. To be fair,
he's a pundit.
Yeah, but they're humans. Like,
no, I'm not saying he's not human. But my point is, are you telling me that no one can criticize your performances? No one.
But it's like that. You're my boy. You're like.
What does that mean?
Like, you're my boy, and you're my boy.
Also, were they even boys like that?
Who was currently still playing the game of football. You're currently still in the team that's playing. Yeah. Should I only say good things about you?
No,
I think that's
the most annoying thing, because all the other pundits. There, you go finish.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think Ronaldo's taking offense. There's something that he may have gone too far, because I don't think it's just like, you know what, Ronaldo's not being good enough, and then he stopped talking to him. I think there's more to it than that. I think there's something that he feels, you know what, Nev, we are boys. Obviously, I would have what's it called? You know, it's almost like, do you remember how Prang Neville was talking about Ollie. Not once did he ever go for Ollie ever, and never really even said he should go. Never said any of those things.
And that is weirdo behavior. That he had different energy. No, I'll always.
Ernest, if he was a pundit on Sky Sports here, and I was doing a shocking job at the Arsenal, are you telling me what? It's time to go.
Listen. I'm going to keep the criticism the same for every player I send for as the managers I send for. I'm going to keep it the same.
So what, am I getting the boot, blood? Am I getting the boot?
No.
I'm Peter. All right, Peter, you're getting the boot still.
What are we doing here? Because so hold on. Because the other guys are not your boys, you can say they need to leave the club.
Nah, I hear you.
Is that what we're doing?
No, but like, you're not going to mince your words, though.
Yeah, like if I don't have a personal relationship with you,
so what?
No, but like as in what I'm saying is there's a certain line, yeah. I heard this from Charlemagne, unfortunately, yeah, where he always said, yeah, that in order to be in the media, yeah, you have to choose whether you're for the people or for the celebrities. So if you're going to be friends with these celebrities, you can't talk about them crazy. Now, Ronaldo's a person at the end of the day, and he's going through struggles where he is not happy with his career and what's going on with the Man United situation. He wanted to leave in the summer. He's still here. He's now playing, and people are talking crazy on his name every single week.
No one is talking crazy on his name. We're saying they play better without you, and they do.
Yeah, but they're talking about him. This is about a human. This is about him.
My bro. Is it
if you're not feeling that, I don't want to be. I'm gonna jack you up right now.
Because you see this world, yeah. Man have such a low level of self-awareness that it's scary. It's very scary.
But
it's so disgusting, bro. My bro. Listen, Oscar,
he's a freak.
Oscar, if the trim I gave you wasn't good, are you saying because I'm your boy, you're not going to tell me?
I will tell you. I'm not coming out publicly and saying, yeah, my trim was trash because my barber did a horrible job.
No, my bro. No one said Ronaldo is trash. No one said, you guys are acting like Gary Neville came out and said Ronaldo's not good anymore. I have said that. I'm a United fan. Yeah. There's no backlash for me. Gary Neville has said if he feels like he's disgruntled by the fact that he's not playing enough games, then you need to find another club where you can play more minutes. Is that criticism enough for you to not shake a man's hand? Are you 5 years old? Are you crazy?
Yes, he is crazy.
You guys are mad. You guys are mad. I can't believe what I'm hearing. A man can't criticize your performances because you're boys.
No. My only take on it is this. I think Ronaldo has taken it far more worse than what it actually was. And I think
Ronaldo didn't shake a man's hand.
Yeah, I think genuinely I have a feeling, it's just all theory here, but I have a feeling that he spoke to Neville off camera, and was like, "Fam, how can you do me dirty like that?" And then doesn't want to talk to him. That's his thing. That's his.
This is madness. This is madness because when he scored the third goal in a 3-0, Rio Ferdinand's coming out saying, "Boom! I told you." You see when he scores, when he didn't score against West Ham, silence. You lot are silent when he doesn't score, and you're telling no. Because I'm so tired of this. Yeah, because there's another man across the road who has scored 17 goals in October, who's on 500 bags a week, just like you are. So why are you not scoring? Let's not do this, man. This is absolute BS, bro. Because
if you go back to
because this Ronaldo thing is nonsense, bro. This Ronaldo thing is
no, because I want to ask that because obviously, Peter. Imagine the boom comment that came. The boom comment came after he missed 7 chances. He had chances throughout that game.
Listen, you know my
thoughts.
Y'all know my thoughts on Rio.
And then people are saying boom. I'm seeing people saying he must start after that goal. And Peter,
and then guess what? He started. Guess what? He started. What did he do?
Ernest, run a 5. Give him a run of 5. That's all I'm saying.
No. We've given him a run of 5.
I'm actually being serious.
We've given him a run of 5 in the Europa League. He has scored 2 goals. One of them is an open play. Talk to me. And the penalty he scored, he stunk up the joint. He was trash for the whole 90 minutes. He was bad. And no one wants to say anything because you don't watch Ronaldo. You watch Ronaldo from 2015. The guy is not good anymore. He's not. He's not good anymore. No, honestly, bro. Bruv, Zuma had him for lunch yesterday. Zuma had him for breakfast yesterday, bro. Like, nah, man. Nah, he's not as good anymore. And I don't know why it's hard. Why is it hard to say the honest truth, bro? Messi is hoping in Europe and in the League hoping as if nothing but net.
First of all, but Peter, you compared him to Haaland first and foremost, and then secondly, you got to compare him to Messi.
I'm comparing him to Haaland,
Messi
because Haaland is actually earning his P's. Ronaldo is not.
Agreed. No, that is definitely true. Both can be true though. Look at the state at what Man United are, and look at the state of City and PSG.
No, well, let's not do this, man. Let's not do this. So hold on. Which one is it? He should start every game and still be in a bad team, and if he doesn't score, it's calm. Or he should start every game, and when he scores, it's which one is it?
No, for me, listen, Ernest. For me, it's simple as this. I think he's your best striker in the squad, right?
No one has argued that.
Yeah,
but
so
I think he should play.
I think he should play every game.
You need to do a lot more before you finish.
Sure,
no one stands on the pitch and just scores.
I would have him starting over Martial and Rashford up front. That's my opinion. Until you buy somebody better, Ronaldo starts centre forward for me.
So if he doesn't score, then what do we do?
Well, we'll have to see how long this drought is. But Ronaldo will still score goals for Manchester United.
Last season he started 27 games and scored 18 goals, and he scored 2 hat-tricks.
That's a decent return, you know?
If you take the 2 hat-tricks away, he scored 12 goals. What was he doing on the other?
I can't take away 2 hat-tricks. That's 6 goals.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
That's the pinnacle.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Because there's because it's like, do you remember when Berbatov won the Golden Boot for us? Like, and he scored 20 goals in that season.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you know how many gaps in between goals that he had? He scored 4 goals, and then there'll be 4 or 5 games where he's not scoring. Then he's scoring another 3. So my point is, hat-tricks are fantastic. And I'm saying to you, when you take 2 hat-tricks away from, was it Norwich and Spurs? Yeah, Spurs, I'll say he did his job. Norwich, it's a mediocre team. I expect you to do that. Yeah. So you scored 12 goals. So my point is, like, the contribution.
Let's say 14. Let's say 14.
So my point is, the contribution that people are saying he has is overstated from a statistical standpoint. You scored goals, fantastic. But my point is, I'd rather a man score 1 and 2 than score 12 and 2 hat-tricks. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying your contribution was good for the team, because if you didn't score, no one else was scoring apart from Bruno. So I'm not going to take credit away from Ronaldo. But guys, watch football with your eyes. What is this guy doing in 90 minutes that you are impressed with? What is he doing?
No, it's not.
Oscar said this is a season for 9s. Is Ronaldo one of the 9s you're talking about?
Then
let's not do this. Let's not do this.
He will still score the goals.
If he scores 15 goals, he's on 500 bags a week, guys.
No, sure. The wage is
a week. What should I expect from a man that's on £500,000 a week?
No, listen. Man United spending 500 grand a week. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's outrageous.
Because you man will happily get onto Sancho because he's on 340, and I applaud you for it. Get onto him, do it, but get onto the other guy as well.
I'm just looking at
me on this podcast. I have smoke for everyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your name is. I don't care if it's Havertz. I don't care if it's Van Dijk. I will tell you how good you are. I'll tell you how bad you are. But you lot are being there's so much favoritism towards Ronaldo. It's scary. It's very scary. Especially because you're not watching him in 90 minutes. You're not.
It's pedigree. His pedigree says it all, innit? Like he'll still score goals for Man United.
He's 37 years old, guys.
And also,
he's 38.
What's it called? 38. But I'm looking at the plethora of I'm looking at your options. I'm just looking at your options right now. And when I see Rashford, Martial, and Cristiano as your centre forward, I'm going Cristiano. That's all.
And when he doesn't score, I'll be here. I'll be around. When he doesn't score, I need the same energy.
Give him 5 in a row, Ernest. I'm asking for 5 in a row. I'm asking for 5 games in a row. That's what I'm asking.
If you're on 500 a week, you don't need 5 in a row.
No, you do. He's a human being.
You don't. You don't. No, you don't.
All right.
No, you don't.
Let's move it on.
Yeah. Big up to United. 3 points. We move.
3 points indeed for Manchester United. I'll tell you who else got 3 points. I'm back at the top of the league. It's the Arsenal FC. Listen, lads.
Aye, Norwich are bad. Not Norwich. Like they could be good Norwich. That's how bad I think about them.
Might as well. Same difference.
Hey, look who's talking. Look who's all. Adrian, keep quiet for this one, man.
Wow. That's an outrageous take.
Touche.
Arsenal getting back to winning ways, thank God. Because I tell you what, lads, I was a beaten man after Thursday night. Let me tell you, I was hurting.
You got packed.
You got moved. You got
packed. Stressed, blood. This man got stressed. And the thing is, like they had 2 disallowed goals, and 2-0 was flattering. When I tell you, we should have lost 4 and 5. We were poor on Thursday night, right? But because obviously the situation that had been happening with Arsenal lately is that we first half we're good, we start well, and then second half is when it starts to peter out, right? And one thing that impressed me the most was the fact that we won 4-0 in the second half, right? Beautiful goals, beautiful football. Norwich did throw Norwich. Look at you now. You got me saying Norwich. Forest threw in the towel. That's for damn sure. They threw in the towel. Coops took off like Lingard and Taiwo, I forget his surname. He took them lot off and he started bringing on, like, when I say dead rubbers, blood. By the way, Morton Gibbs White, every time I watch him, 40 million quid is what I keep saying. They spent 40 million quid on this guy and I still can't believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? But, Arsenal, thank God that they got this win because we badly needed it, especially heading into the Chelsea game. Next weekend, 12 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be saucy.
City on your necks.
City. Listen. Like Callum Wilson said, right, this season, he said, listen, take Haaland out of the top goal scoring charts. It's about who finishes best of the rest, right? That is where I'm at.
He said silver boot, man. Silver boot.
This is where I'm at.
Yeah, silver boot.
Listen, silver place, blood. Silver, you know what I'm saying? Give me second place. I'll bite your hand off today. I'll still bite your hand off to make the top 4. The funny thing is, yes.
Imagine being a professional footballer, right? You've been doing this your whole life. You've dedicated your life. Those are times people called you a weirdo. You're going to hang out with your friends. You've been doing this. You're 28. You've been doing this for the past 25 years. You're at the peak of your powers. You're fighting, you're scratching, you're clawing. You've got 9 goals and 12 games. You're killing it. Yeah. And then you've got this freakazoid. Haaland doing what he's doing. It's not fair, It's like deep it. You spent your whole life, you're at the peak of your powers, and then this Norwegian giant just comes in and tells
you know what they said this weekend about Haaland? They said that his lithium batteries were running low. They needed to recharge him. That's why he didn't play. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, this is what we're up against. But you see, look, Abdi straight on the hate already. Yeah, Arsenal beat the worst team in the league. Let's waste another 20 minutes on these bums. Listen. We can't help who we're playing up against. You know what I'm saying? When we play them, we got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? Could beat them. I think at the end of the day, Arsenal needed a home game in the Premier League just to smoothen this out. Because the Southampton game, the Leeds United game, the Bodo Glimt away game, PSV away game. I mean, there were games that you just thought, we were hanging on there. And I was really, really upset when we drew to Southampton because it was just like they're bums. Like them man got dressed the next week. Who they lose to? Southampton. Who did they even lose? I told you they'll get beat by Palace. They got beat by Palace, exactly. So, yeah, anyway, but yeah, glad to see us back on top of the league. What is it, 12, 13 games we've played? And to be this far, I mean, you guys have to understand what Arsenal are doing is quite freakish, yeah? We've won 10 games in 12. You know what I'm saying? We've won 10.
Fact.
Yes.
Fun fact. At this time of the season, Arsenal have 31 points. Every team since the Premier League inception has had as much points as Arsenal. Only one team has failed to win the Premier League.
Who's that team?
Newcastle United.
Wow. Yeah, make it 2 teams.
Make it 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, make it 2 teams. The truth is, the time when I will start to, you know what will give me belief? Do you know what will give me belief? If we beat Chelsea on Saturday or Sunday, if we go out there and we beat them away from home, because remember we've beaten good teams at home, as we normally do. We normally do well at home, but when we went away to Old Trafford, when we go to Spurs in the new year, when we go to City, Liverpool, we've got to go to places where you just think, listen, I'll bite your hand off now for a point in all of those games, right? I'll bite your hand off now for them. Even Newcastle, bruv. I don't know what you lot are seeing, but Newcastle worry me. They worry me a little bit. Like they are on form, they're playing well, and they're only going to get better, right? But yeah, listen, we have to enjoy the ride right now, top of the league. I will believe more when if we beat Chelsea on Sunday. If we draw to Chelsea, then
You saying with a measuring stick?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that if Arsenal are to be, because you know what, I think Mikel doesn't want to lose this at all. I think Mikel has been like, because he was apparently after the game at Old Trafford, like from what I heard in-house, he lost his marbles. Like the man was beside himself, and it's this thing of like, as we saw in the documentary, he cannot take defeats. He doesn't know what that looks like. He doesn't know what it means. He can't accept it. And I wish we had a documentary on the year before, because that was the worst season I've ever watched as an Arsenal fan ever. And I would love to have known what his team talks were like then and whatever, because he looked like a man that was, he couldn't handle what was going on. But I mean, I am delighted to see a good performance. Yes, it's a Forest side, fine. But we played Southampton, we played Leeds, teams that you should be slapping up. You know what I'm saying? No pissing about. But we beat Forest, we beat them at home, and our last two games are Chelsea and Wolves. Will we still be top of the league? I think we will. And so going into Christmas and Boxing Day with West Ham at home, then no, listen,
he does still. He does still.
But as in, he's a possessed. He's a man who's possessed, and I think what cost us top four last season was the January window, right? And I'm walking in fear of the January window this year, because in order for Arsenal to be in the top four, they have to do something in January. Mark my words, guys, right now, on October the 31st, the Halloween special, if he does not sign players in January, we will not make the top four. Never mind this title race.
Are there funds available?
There are funds available.
Are the players you have to sell?
No. Bro, we tried to sign two midfielders in the window and a winger. That tells you how much money.
I think how serious was he? Is an Arsenal player in January.
Tell me how tell me how we're trying to look for a winger and two central midfielders in the summer, and we didn't get any of those. And we were bidding a player that's got a year left in his contract. We're bidding £30 million for these players. You know what I'm saying? Douglas Luiz out of nowhere. We're bidding 25 million, 30 million, and they're still saying no. Listen, watch this space. I am definitely listen. I tell you right now, guys, you're gonna find an angry Peter in 2023 if we come to January 31st when I'm 33 years of age and I've not got a new player in my squad. Let me tell you right now, guys, I will be seething till the end of the season, because again,
this comment kills me.
It will be the one person. It will be the one person who I blamed for last year that's going to cost us again this year. He better. I'm talking. He can't walk into February with the squad he's got here. Remember, we played a 15-year-old at Brentford. I want you to remember that and never forget that. He went to school the next day, and that's no cap.
Yeah, that was criminal. I can't believe he did that. Well, look, let me
who's that?
He's a criminal. Arteta. Assad said, Peter, I reckon you do us on Sunday. First time I'm backing you to win at the Bridge. And then he also says,
Adrian's face killed me just now.
I
thought you. I think there should have been like a full stop, or at least a comma. You know what I mean? Just went straight in, mate. You know what I mean? Fairs, though.
Huh?
No, it's fine. I don't want to see it again, but you know what I mean. I just thought we needed like a bit of a buffer zone. But sorry.
I need to watch that back. He's saying that basically you've beaten us at the Bridge a few times. He's saying, is winning at the Bridge really a landmark anymore?
No, because we have to show some mettle. Remember, Arsenal won at Stamford Bridge when it didn't matter, when the pressure was off. By the way, we had 3 defeats in a row before that. We lost to Southampton, Brighton, and was it Palace? I can't remember who it was. We had 3 defeats in a row. Farcical behaviour. And then we went to Stamford Bridge with the fact that look, it was such a nothing game. Eddie and Nketiah played up front. It was one of those where it was like, there's nothing riding on this. And then we went and won. So when the pressure's off, we're delicious. We're good to go. When the pressure is on, I'm concerned. It's still a landmark to win at Stamford Bridge. Don't be silly.
Just a couple quick touches on the game. I know Lola's boy, Reece Nelson, one game and he smashed Sancho and Richard for GA. Is that Richarlison?
Wow.
Yeah, must be.
You mean Richarlison hasn't got more than 2 goals? So it's like 3 goal contributions.
He hasn't got a goal.
Wait, Richard. Wait.
he's not Brazilian, so he's Richard.
Wait, Richarlison hasn't got a goal for Spurs.
No, it was 10 games, 0 goals. Then he got injured.
Wow. By the way, Spurs are going in the Europa League this week. Tomorrow, Spurs will be entering the Europa League.
That Champions League
group is tasty. That Champions League group is so tasty.
Funny. Look at all of us. Look at all of us nodding our heads. It should never be tasty. It should have never been a tasty group. Have you looked at the teams?
The team that's fourth can finish first. It's tasty.
Listen.
The team that's first can finish fourth.
It's like the McCrispy. The McCrispy is like a giant. It's like a giant nugget. But fam, that burger, I took a bite and I said, "Raw."
What is this? Yeah.
Hey, the McCrispy is going and going.
Yeah, the McCrispy slaps. It slaps. I highly recommend.
You got Marajama in them, man.
Yo, she got the bag. My God.
Yeah, the bag.
What, but you don't like chicken royale? Fair.
Who?
Hey, it's not crispy.
It's soggy.
The chicken royale was crispy.
Where was Ernest?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love the Top 4 podcast, because you get continuity. Last week we knew that Robin didn't like the chicken royale, and now he's loving the McCrispy.
I did not. I did not say I hate the chicken royale. I did not say hate the chicken. I said
you weren't loving it.
Which one do you think is better?
If I put cheese on McCrispy, I'll get back to you.
Robin, don't do this.
I'll get back.
Robin, don't do this.
No,
Robin, don't.
I have to get back to you.
He's had one
I'll get back to you.
his whole life.
No. The reason why.
And the reason why,
because I haven't had.
McCrispy is a big McNugget. That's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be.
I said. The chicken royale cheese is a barometer. So I'm gonna put cheese on.
Assad needs to get a club card. Spend
a club card.
He needs a nectar point. He needs something because there's no way
it's a free app.
on God's gracious
what you doing?
You spend over $350 on a meal deal under no circumstances.
That's almost a pound more.
First of all, Assad, if it's not.
You get a freaking Kit Kat and some water, did you? And a ham sandwich.
Assad, I need to know. Assad, I need to know what.
We need to know what meal deal this was.
If this is M&S, you'll be forgiven. Your sins will be forgiven. If there is anything lower than M&S,
this is a club card's $3.50. What's the difference?
Wait, what?
40p is the difference.
Hang on a minute. What? No, do ain't £3 no more.
Wait. Pause.
If he's saying a club card is $3.50, I want to know where did you? This better not be a Tesco meal deal, because if Tesco meal deal is free,
like Sainsbury's or something.
You know what I'm saying? Shocking.
You got Pringles in a meal deal.
Tuna sweet corn. I knew it.
Because
I said he obviously wouldn't get ham because that's awful.
Yeah,
why is that? Hang on. Wait. Have we just cast aspersions? We just assumed.
Yeah.
First of all, his name's Assad. Yeah, fair enough. There's no way you're getting Pringles in a meal deal.
Nah, Oscar, that little cup.
Yeah, little
80 milligram.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
That's me.
Some sensations or something.
Lola says awful choice.
That's a tuna sweet corn pasta.
I'll be real with you, yeah. If you go Tesco and you take a tuna sweet corn sandwich, even if you rightfully pay for it and use a club card, the alarm should beep as you leave, and the security guard needs to put his arm on your shoulder and say, "Where do you think you're going with that? Go and put it back and get a proper sandwich." Tuna sweet corn, but imagine I went bagel king one time. Somebody got a tuna sweet corn bagel. Couldn't believe what I saw. I was furious. I almost wanted to pull the shutters down myself. I said, where do you think you're going? What? Of all the options?
Oh my days.
Man, I was angry, man.
Let's see where to pull the shutters on a 24-hour shop.
Peter.
Brother.
Oh
my gosh.
Back to the football. I have two quick questions before we move on. Reece Nelson, your thoughts on Reece?
Happy for him. Listen, if there's one thing Arsenal fans I think are furious at the moment, if there is anything to be angry at, is the players like Sambi, Eddie, those players that are on the fringes are not grabbing the ball by the horns. And yet Reece Nelson has gone and scored twice and assisted. And don't get me wrong, he's been frustrating in his times. Don't get me wrong, he has been, but he's come on. You know, for Bukayo Saka, by the way, who again assist. You know what I'm saying? The guy is a phenomenal player, Bukayo. And yet you've come on and replaced him and scored twice. Yeah. Well done, Reece Nelson.
My next question is Bukayo Saka fit for the weekend?
You're damn right he is.
Oh,
don't you worry. He'll be rested on Thursday because it'll be Reece Nelson on Thursday, and then it will be Bukayo Saka on Sunday.
Oscar, I thought that's why you loved him so much.
Right.
He plays through the mire. Oscar, who's going to be your left wing back on Sunday? Because they're going to meet an African boy from Greenford. They're going to meet one Af from Greenford, brother. And Twine, man, I get Twine. That's when Thomas Partey's throwing the ball like that, when Ødegaard is placing it and
I'm so sorry. You see, okay. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Adrian, I know, man. I know.
It's peak.
But yeah, no. So, but yeah,
man.
Anyway, let's move on.
Man, no, Adrian has killed me. I'm gonna get a McCrispy with cheese this week, and I'll let you know the results next week.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I'll let you know the results.
AD is wild. Okay. Love Nelson. He's a good kid. Oh, guys, it's all good. It's all gone. Okay.
Football's bent, man. Football's bent.
Negro FC.
Yo, hey, AD. In the latest episode of Football is Bent, do you know I witnessed the Arsenal women playing against FC Zurich Frauen, right? With no VAR. There was no VAR. Yet the whole competition has VAR.
Wait, what do you mean no VAR?
No VAR turned up at the Emirates. I'm there like, what, is this game going ahead? And they were like, yeah. I said, hang on a minute. The other group phase games have all had VAR. What's going on? Bent. That's what it is.
Hey, Peter, we'll get to it. When we speak about Bournemouth, we'll get to Football is bent. I'll tell you what's bent.
Oh,
yeah, and I'll tell you. Let's go through the other stuff.
Okay, Fulham 0, Everton 0. Good. Such a shame. I brought in Mitrovic in the fantasy. He had 10 shots on goal. He scored nothing. I was furious.
There's nothing to
big up to Fabio Silva. Is it Fabio Silva? Marco Silva and Frank Lampard. Big up to them too.
Big up to Frank, always.
I'm going to save one game till the end. Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 0.
God.
I told you Southampton will get beat, but they were actually fortunate. Palace were fortunate to leave with all 3 points. I think Southampton. It was Edouard. You know, he had a few shots on goal, actually. He was pretty decent. Brentford 1, Wolves 1. Wolves are still without a manager. Okay, no more comment there. Leicester City 0, Manchester City 1. Free kick from Kevin De Bruyne.
Fantastic free kick.
Delicious. Yeah. By the way, I need to rant at Brendan Rodgers again. I'll rant at Brendan Rodgers again. He flat out came out and said they wanted to hold the game for 70 minutes and then give it a go. The Leicester City fans were not happy. When I tell Oscar, did you watch this game? The Man City fans, the Leicester City fans were furious. Leicester were keeping the ball in their not even in nearly the 18-yard box for 70 minutes. They did not want to come out, not once. And the crowd had to urge them on, had to start showing them this is where you attack. And then they made like 1-2 attack, and then they finally got something going. But boy, it was a dud game. Missed opportunity with no Haaland.
Screw those Leicester fans. Screwed a lot of them. When they were making bogus names, mimicking their own flipping manager. If I was Brendan, down with them, I'll take them down myself.
Down with them.
Down with them.
But it was a missed opportunity. When you see on the team sheet, there's no Haaland. You know what I'm saying?
There's still a KDB.
Lola said, can we chat about Costa getting his first ever red card this weekend?
No, it wasn't his first red card. It can't be.
It was his first. It was.
I don't know if that's ever, but I know he never got a red card.
He's in the Prem. He used to get them in La Liga like every 7 games.
Listen,
episode. He didn't have one at Chelsea, so it must be first ever Prem red card.
Episode 19. Why football is bent. This is Diego Costa's first red card in Premier League football, and did you see what he did as well? Anyway, no Haaland, no problem. Indeed, Man City there with the win at Leicester City. No team in the Pep Guardiola era has scored more goals against Manchester City than Leicester City. Interesting scenes. Okay, let's go to Bournemouth against Tottenham Hotspur. Bournemouth 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. AD, you had something about...
What the heck was that?
Yeah, well...
What the heck was that?
That's
what I want to...
2-0. I'm there dancing, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what a beautiful moment.
I was ready to give it large.
Bro, I was doing the samba. I was living it large, right? And then obviously I've logged out, logged away. I've then looked back, and you're telling me he scored a 92nd minute winner, wherever it was. Bentancur. I mean, I'm looking at the goal scorers. Ryan Sessegnon, Ben Davis, and Bentancur. What kind of a game was this?
Individual FC brilliance, baby.
This was it, bruv. And the thing is, yeah, it's like nobody was even that. Like, you know, when a comeback story happens, it's usually the talk of the town. Everyone's talking about it. It's one of them. But when you watched it, and even after the aftermath, nobody even cares, blood. Nobody even cares. Big up Kiefer Moore with the double. He did well on the weekend.
It's not big up Keith. Never mind.
He scored 2 goals.
I didn't watch the game, so I'm hating. Yeah, let's carry on.
AD, what did you want to say about this regarding bentness?
So obviously Gary O'Neill, he's fighting tooth and nail to get his first proper job in football, right?
Yeah.
He was 2-0 up against Southampton, against Spurs. Sorry, his team threw it away. Now I want to read to you a list of teams, right? And I want you to tell me the correlation. Are you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
And let's see in the comments, let's see if you can get this as well. I'm going to read to you a list of football teams, and I want you to tell me what these all have in common. Leeds United, Luton Town, Tranmere Rovers, Barnsley, Bristol City, Leicester City, Hartlepool, Swindon Town, Huddersfield Town, Aston Villa, Sunderland, Newcastle United, Sheffield United, Swindon Town again. They seem to be quite popular. Altrincham, interesting that one. Wigan Athletic. Guys, I need you to tell me what all those teams have in common. And I need to see your answer.
I'm surprised Bolton Wanderers ain't in this pack. Is it that they've conceded from a 2-0 lead? They've conceded the last goals in 90 plus minutes.
Incorrect.
Talk to us.
These are the supposed list of teams that Premier League referees support. So you mean to tell me that we've assembled 20 from across the country, 23 random men, not a single one of them support Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City. Interesting. PR, football is bent. No. Look at the list of teams I've mentioned. No. These are random. Not even the Spurs. These are random football loving men, allegedly. Look at the teams that they apparently support. Notice how none of them, coincidentally, none of them support any big teams. Peter, listen.
Yeah, but Adrian,
go for it, Oscar.
Don't you think it takes a certain kind of man to become a referee? Like
a bent man.
You know. as in, if you go into that profession, you're not a winner. You know what I mean? You're in it for the love of the game. You could be a Swindon fan. Like you're just in it for the love of the game.
And Andy Taylor supports Man United. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh,
yeah. Add what's his name? Howard Webb. Add him to that list. Mike Riley. Add him to that list.
Everyone from the
90s. Webby. Everybody loves Webby.
I mean, he was basically a Fed for Manchester United. But what's it called? Yeah, that's that game. It was a farce. The Tottenham goal scorers, no names, absolutely. And finally, Newcastle United 4, Aston Villa 0. Now, I want to bring up this game because I want to talk about a farce that took place in this game. Right now, I watched this game, and I saw Emi Martinez spilling a long-range shot as per usual, and then get clattered by his own centre half, Tyrone Mings. Right, man's knocked out. He's been Conor McGregor. He's been Derek Chisora, you name it. Dylan White, Anthony Josh, the lot. He's knocked out. And they spend about 6 minutes treating this guy. Now, if you've got 6 minutes to talk about, to see if whether a man is concussed or not, you need to take him off. After 6 minutes, guess what they did? They kept him on. The very next phase of play, a ball gets whipped in, low cross into the 6-yard box of the Aston Villa box. And Emi Martinez grabs it. But guess what? When you see the way he looks, he is dazed. And he is like, yeah, I'm out for the count. You need to sub me off. I don't know if anybody saw this. How on earth Emi Martinez played when he was clearly concussed is a disgrace. It's an absolute farce. I mean, Aston Villa need to get their manager in now, because if whoever that caretaker manager was, whoever the hell he is, he should not be responsible for any of the men's health in that Aston Villa squad, because they let the goalkeeper be out there literally like as an NFL guy. Is he frigging Aaron Hernandez? This is ridiculous. Okay, this is frigging ridiculous.
All NFL people to go for. That's crazy.
Well, CTE and that.
Yeah,
but yeah, those are the weekend results.
For a negative note on that game.
Had to.
Lola says a fit Wilson is England's number 2. Lola's where I am. She's where I've been for a long, long time.
Callum Wilson is bad boy.
Give Callum Wilson his flowers.
Hey, he was talking the crud though. He was talking crud. He said, "Yeah, I should be going." He said, "I should be going on the plane."
He said, "I should be going."
Yeah,
my man.
Listen, Newcastle was superb against Villa. Superb. And Villa, did you see them, people? Did you not see them? You don't mean to tell me Emery's? You know what? I feel sorry for Emery now, because he's going to get sacked before the end of the season. He's not lasting. There's no way. Have you looked at it? Look at the dross. He won't make it to the end of the season. They are bad.
We got him twice. Bad. Which is very annoying.
They are bad. Anyway, guys, player of the week.
Assad says, remember after Arsenal won the FA Cup, we all thought Martinez was top 5. That's crazy.
I thought Arteta was a madman.
Player of the week, Peter. The player of the week is the man who scored 2 goals and got 2 assists. It's obviously Callum Wilson.
Is it?
Big shout.
Oscar, I tell you, Oscar got 2 goals.
Say it.
In a short space of time, Mr. Reece Nelson.
Why are you putting up gang signs?
Also, Reece Nelson got 2 goals and an assist, huh?
Yeah, he did. He did indeed. In less time.
You guys not listening. Callum Wilson got 2 goals and 2 assists.
Callum Wilson got 2 goals and 2 assists. Yeah, I can't lie.
No, but the context of it, because Reece Nelson is a person who was cast aside. Like what's that film with Wilson? I'm like Castaway. Tom Hanks. Brother, I was
talking to the footballer that.
Brother, no. All jokes aside, Reece Nelson, like he was deemed surplus to requirements. Wasn't even good enough for European League games.
Why was he deemed surplus? Why was he surplus to requirements? Because he was playing terrible in Europa League fixtures.
Exactly.
He came on against the worst team in the league and bagged 2 goals. Well done. Whoop-de freaking do.
Were Arsenal comfortable at that point?
They were 1-0 up.
1-0 up. That's all. It was only 1-0. Oscar, show some respect. Kiefer Moore got 2 goals as well. We should put him in the mix.
I don't care about all these guys.
Took his goals well.
I'm with Oscar.
Lola said Nelson because he's better looking. Look, we're not going to objectify players. It's not what we're going to do today.
I mean, men have
2022.
Listen, I want to save Miguel Almiron for another award.
Who's that comparison to? Callum Wilson?
I guess.
Pete, we're saving Almiron for another award.
For sure. That's for damn sure. What's it called? Yeah.
Have I missed something?
Oh, okay. My vote is Reece Nelson. Big up Callum Wilson though. Big up Callum Wilson. My vote is Reece Nelson.
Go big him up. Move on.
Callum Wilson, player of the week.
Callum Wilson, player of the week.
I'm going Reece Nelson for the context. Brother, Bukayo Saka, like bear in mind, he's 2 years older than Bukayo Saka. No, he's 2 years older. He's better to you. He's better than you. He's ahead of you in the pecking order. Saka's played at the last 53 games. Saka's played about 51 of them in a row. You've come on cold. You banged 2 goals and an assist.
Talk to them, AD. Talk to them.
Adrian,
No, that's lovely.
Saka is number 7.
It's
Reece Nelson
amazing.
is number 24. There's reasons for this.
Yeah, that's more to the point, no?
At the end of the day, this is
12.
Okay, is he number 12? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just after the starting 11.
Yeah, man. He's the first sub.
He's the 12th man.
But yeah, no, but unfortunately, it is a democracy, so Callum Wilson wins.
Apparently, Nelson is Zim, so that's
not my garbage still.
Yeah, man. Big up to Callum Wilson. He absolutely had a cracking weekend.
A goal next week.
Big up to Mugabe.
A goal next week, and Southgate's really gonna have to scratch his head. He's not gonna. I know Southgate won't pick him, but
he was at St James's Park.
Do you know when he's releasing the England squad? Because that's what they have to do, like within like next week, something like that.
Well, he's gonna pick like a 50-man squad, and then he's gonna shorten it to 27, and then he's gonna shorten like. Yeah, fair enough.
No, but man, on the roll, yeah.
Date.
If you're English and you don't make like 55-man squad, I think it is. What happens to you?
You need to find a new nation,
brother. 55 man.
You got to declare. You just got to declare Ireland.
Okay,
That's a hard
championship there.
You just got to declare Ireland because Townsend, Cascarino, these men just declared Ireland, bro. Rags.
So they're saying that the final 26-man squad has to be named by Sunday the 13th of November.
Okay, so the last weekend of the Premier League.
So next year.
Right. Okay. Goal of the week is Almiron. We can move on.
Why is
Miguel?
Oh, is it? What did I didn't see it. Was his goal? Was he score another worldie?
Oscar, it was a superb finish. Oh my God, go watch it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I want to give a quick shout out. I want to give a quick shout out to Kevin De Bruyne because that free kick, I jumped out of my chair.
It was a good free kick. I mean, you had the pick of the bunch at the Emirates. You know what I'm saying? You could have had Partey, you could have had Ødegaard, you could have, it was lovely. It was all lovely.
No, Ødegaard's goal was nasty.
Oh, listen, there's nothing that gives me more pleasure than when a ball gets hit hard like that. Pause. However,
Almiron, hey, you're doing it on purpose now.
Miguel Almiron for me.
Yeah.
Who is your my Atlanta United player? Yeah, Miguel, man. Big up. Listen,
Atlanta, bro. What did you just say?
No. Do you know what's so funny? Yeah, we've been doing this podcast. Barack has been commenting. Man, ain't never mentioned anything good about Almiron before. He was never your player. This month he starts banging goals. Now he's your guy, yeah? Cool.
Now, Oscar, man, if you come out the MLS and you're hooping, you got to rep. He's repping, man. Baraka's repping the MLS. You got to hoop, man.
So what? Is he going to hoop against England? That's what we're saying now.
Huh?
What country is he from?
I say he's not even
Uruguay.
He's not American.
He's not American.
My bad.
Wow. He's definitely not American.
I thought it was
Uruguayan to Santa Cruz.
Miguel Almiron. Yeah, I'm going for Almiron. Let's go around, guys.
I never saw the goal.
Shout out to KDB, but Almiron, yeah, I did see it. It's a nasty goal.
Nasty goal. Is it full house? AD?
I thought KDB's thing was clutch. By the way, guys, listen. Let me take off my Liverpool cap. I think KDB is the best to ever do it, in the Prem.
The best to ever do it.
I think he is, man.
I'm not ready for this conversation.
Let's call a spade a spade. What do you want from him? Do you want honors? Do you want individual brilliance? Do you want goals? Do you want assists? Do you want flair? Do you want ingenuity? What do you want? Do you want importance to a title-winning side? Do you want the fact that he's played for probably the best side in Premier history? Listen, man. I'm sorry. I think he's the best. Genuinely, I think KDB's the best.
Did you see his assist to it was ruled offside, I think it was, or he missed, but the assist he gave Alvarez. Huh? How did that even happen? Like, it was a phenomenal ball. But yeah, KDB is phenomenal. It's very true. Oscar, I think the votes are Almiron. What's Endo saying?
No, he just says, I miss pre-recorded top 4 days. You man were funny back in the day.
You said we fell off.
No, he said
pre-recorded. What does he mean by pre-recorded?
When the podcast was...
As it wasn't live.
Oh, okay.
I'm a broadcaster.
What, man used to listen to the iTunes and the SoundCloud dems, yeah? I hear that. Who is the team of the week?
It's either Arsenal or Leeds. It's either Arsenal or Leeds.
Has to be Leeds.
Hefe.
Has to be Leeds.
It's got to be Leeds. It's got to be
Who
Leeds.
won 5-0, guys?
To the worst team in the league.
Oh, but
They beat Forest. They beat Liverpool last week.
But remember what they said about Adrian. Context is key.
Context is key.
Did Forest get Did Forest get team of the week last week?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Damn it.
They did.
Random. How can we not mention Brighton?
Oh, Brighton on the
Brighton.
You know what? Nah, it still Leeds. It's
Ernest,
still Leeds.
Fairs, you consider that. You're honourable man. You consider that.
Do you know what?
I like that.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go Brighton. Brighton were good value for money against Chelsea. They battered them. They were good value.
No. They battered them. But Pete, understand this. They told us that Van Dijk has the record at Anfield.
He does, or he did.
That's what they told us. So the record was nowhere to be seen. He was watching. I don't know what I forgot about. My man has the most Jamaican name I've ever heard in my life.
Somerville. Sounds like he's playing freaking dominoes right now.
That is a Stonebridge name.
Yo, when I saw that guy, I said, "This guy's from St. Raf's. That's for damn sure."
He's from the ends.
Oh my days, Somerville.
And then I saw his taper. I said, "He's definitely from North London. Absolutely from North London."
Oh my god,
he's from Feyenoord or somewhere.
Listen, Van Dijk was watching him. Van Dijk was watching him the way I watched Avengers Infinity War 2019. Watching, man. You know what it was?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm so sorry. Chelsea got panned.
Chelsea got.
Yeah.
The thing is, this bro, Van Dijk had a record like Mourinho at home, bro. Mourinho had like 80 games unbeaten or something like that.
And you know what? That's probably the only reason I rate Van Dijk, because that record is demonic.
It's outrageous.
Bro, man hasn't lost a game. Nah.
No, like you have to deep it, innit? You have to deep it. Like, how could you have played for Liverpool and you only lost? When did he sign? What year did he sign?
2018. What? 18?
18.
He signed ages ago. He signed pre-pandemic. That's a long time ago.
First of all, pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
This is the pre-pre. What says pre-pre?
He signed January 2018, I think it was.
I said pre-pandemic. Arsene Wenger was still manager of Arsenal. This guy we've gone through 4 prime ministers. He's not lost a game at Anfield. He doesn't know what that looks like in the league. Outrageous.
Yeah, man.
Until now. Big up Leeds. Team of the week, man. Big up Leeds. Leeds. Mind you, their singing when You'll Never Walk Alone came on was of the highest quality. Did anybody hear the Leeds fans? Did anybody overhear Leeds over that You'll Never Walk Alone song? It was phenomenal.
Hey, by the way, the heart of football fans are so fickle, because you see how I tell you what, you see how Marsh has been getting these boys to turn up. Done it against Arsenal, done it against Liverpool. Imagine. Let's just say Nunez takes his chances. He probably gets sacked,
He'd probably be sacked by now, yeah.
That's how
as a once great man said, I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Can I be honest with you? I'm glad we'll never know.
Do you know what is that?
He said once great. Hey, that's funny.
Football's insane,
You know what I like about Jesse Marsh? He's unapologetically American. I love it. Did you see the celebrations for each goal? It was like the NFL. It's like he's watching the NFL.
Yeah, what was he doing? What was he doing?
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
Radical, dude.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Now, we need more Americans in the Premier League.
Oh.
By the
way. Oh, yeah. How long?
Hey, batter.
He's the kind of guy that will have words like determination and never give up in like hard writing hieroglyphics in his changing room, innit?
Could you imagine the team talks? Hey,
the
documentary on Jesse Marsh. I need it.
Yeah, I need it in the vein.
Who's that little boy that made the assist? Lotto. What's his name?
Oh, they got
He's like 5'2".
They got a lot of short kids in that team, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that are pretty short.
No, big him up, man. Big him up.
Hey, big up the American gang. Big up Jesse March. Big up Leeds winning.
That interview came out and he said, "I'm tired of losing."
Nah, this guy talks like he's in the NBA.
Tired of losing, damn it.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm tired of losing."
This is what I like about him. Keep it all the way.
Brilliant,
He has to stay to his roots, man. Keep it all the way American, man. I'm here for it.
Bob Bradley sucked.
Because Bradley sucked, yeah.
Bob Bradley sucked. He was calling it PK and all sorts. He didn't have a clue. Marsh is just different. Marsh has just done things differently. Like he's got his education at Leipzig, Salzburg.
That era of when we discovered America's call penalties, PKs, was killing me, bro.
I'll never forget it.
They're not a serious bunch.
Me and Oscar's cousin, yeah. When she told us a free kick is a direct.
Did you see your cousin?
Huh?
When I saw this tweet, yeah, I was tired.
He said reportedly Pulisic and Graham Potter have fallen out. And he had an argument. He said he's tripping, dog.
I saw the tweet. I died laughing. I can't lie. Hey yo, we need that uniting of Pulisic and Jesse Marsh. Make it happen.
Nah, when Pulisic first signed, there was this account that used to bag bare likes of this tweet format. After every game, he would tweet with an American accent, like doing the Pulisic thing. It was so funny, man.
It's going to be a lot of things. The most political group in the World Cup, man, it's going to be the one. I tell you what, Iran, America, Wales, and England. Flip it out. An explosion is going to happen.
That's just colonization in a group.
There's so much going on. There's so much oil, and there's so much money, and there's so much politics.
Man, I am very intrigued to see off the pitch stuff in Qatar. The rules, are super Islamic, bro. And you see me, because at the shop, people were like, "Oh, but how can you tell people not to drink?" I said, "You can't tell a man what to do in this country. You can't. You can't go to another man's ends and tell him, yo, you should allow man to drink alcohol."
Nah, for real.
But it's really a dumb question, isn't it?
But it's the same thing with like Sha'Carri Richardson when she had the weed in her bloodstream, and they were like, it's just weed. I'm like, bro, you think you're in Brooklyn? You're in Beijing, baby. You can't
in the Bronx.
You man are in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
No, but it's true though. I'll give you an example. If a man just pours gravy on his carpet, that's his thing. You're sitting down in his house, he just randomly wakes up one day and pour gravy on the carpet. You can't tell a man you can't pour gravy on the carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
his domain. That's his yard. Like, as bizarre and as wrong and as hideous as you think it is, that's his thing. He just pours gravy in his
that
carpet.
has nothing.
You can't tell him.
And the rules have nothing to do with you.
So
they have nothing to do with you.
In Qatar, or Qatar, as I've heard it's called, they like is alcohol just banned? Like, is it a dry state?
No, them man don't drink. It's because apparently like Dubai is more westernized. So you'll have like strip clubs, you'll have champagne popping.
You'll have areas where you can drink, if that makes sense.
Oscar, can I give you a context? Oscar, I'll give you a context. You know, in the Formula One, when you win a race and you pour champagne, do you know what they give them instead? At the Qatar Grand Prix, these men were sipping on rosé sparkling water. You heard me.
What? Sure.
They call it rose water. They did that in Abu Dhabi. They did that in Saudi Arabia and in Qatar.
Yeah, that's just what the thing is. Next time, do research on the country before you give them the World Cup. Simple as that.
Listen, Ernest, they've built stadiums bigger than the capacity of the city. Just saying.
They need to make you president of something.
Nah, I'm all right, man.
Guys,
because I'm not even trying to play it.
When the documentary when the FIFA documentary comes out on Netflix, download straight. Straight.
Hey, because you know that's coming off Netflix as soon as it comes on, isn't it? They might be like, what?
Do you remember
this is what Black was doing?
Guys, I don't think you don't remember back in 2010, they put this on Panorama. It did not last a week. It was on Panorama for 1 week. And he took it down. Right.
On a Pastor Toby thing.
Wait. Wait till the Americans.
Bye to Panorama. Hey, he's a criminal, you know.
He's actually a criminal.
Bye to Panorama. What?
Guys, we need to wrap up.
Couldn't believe what I heard.
Let's wrap up. Ernest can be president of Ghana.
No one can.
No one. Hey, did you hear Brazil, bro? They recruited them. Let's not get into it.
Brother, they recruited freaking 2003 David Beckham. I haven't seen some of that right wing ever since. What? Good grief. He's got talking about chalk on the boot. He's got so much chalk in the boot. He's freaking Di Canio when he was managing Lazio. That's how right when he is, brother. I can't believe it. What salute did Di Canio give?
He gave the Nazi salute.
He gave a fascist salute.
He gave a oh mate,
where was he now?
Oh, God knows where he is.
Who is not that guy? That is what we've not answered.
Paolo Di Canio.
Yeah, Paolo Di Canio. Straight off.
One person. There's one person that quick say. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he's automatic. This person. I don't know what your name is or who you are. You're not that guy. And I'm assuming he's not black because my guy put on a full-on like black morph suit, decided to get cut out a picture of the face of Kurt Zuma and his white friend dressed up as a cat, and he proceeds to kick him in a picture. I said, what is going on here? Like, I was confused. I said, is this racist? Is this racist? As Neymar said, racist or not? Like, what's going on here? But yeah, you, my friend, are not that guy.
Wow. Honestly, the fancy dressing is on another scale these days. It's outrageous. Oh my days. I said, no, AD's having a messy Champions League final 2009 performance. He's having an absolute blinder. Solid man of the match showing today. Absolutely. Listen, AD, you man don't know, man. AD.
Don't AD me. I've had enough of football, man. And these referees are ruining lives. I'm not happy right now. Gary O'Neill's not going to get a job because of what that git done on Monday.
This is the AD I miss. This is the AD I miss.
The thing is,
but when Liverpool are crap, that's what.
Yeah, AD's on fire when Liverpool are down in the dumps. This is the AD we know. Yeah, I don't have a not that guy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a not that guy. So we can leave it. I'll just put out there the Aston Villa coach, whoever it was, the interim, is having a frigging laugh with leaving Emi Martinez on the field. The guy was concussed, and when he stood up, he was dazed, blood. He was dazed, and the referee's asking me, "You all right?" The referee needs to go in there as well. He was having a frigging.
Mbappe is not that guy for missing that chance, man.
I missed this.
Yeah.
Listen, Neymar
was
this
close to having the assist of all
time.
Again,
it was Puskas.
No, Adrian, I don't think you understand how much I need England versus Brazil this World Cup. Because I feel like Neymar gets the most disrespect from this country. And I need him to... Do you remember how Vince Carter used to dunk? I need that level of dunk.
Vince Carter, holy smokes.
Yeah. I need that.
Didn't Joey Barton say that Neymar couldn't tackle him inside a phone box? What does that mean?
Listen. Jason.
He said he doesn't rate Neymar. He couldn't tackle me in a phone box.
Listen, Jason Cundy said that Luis Diaz is better than Neymar.
Who said that?
Jason Cundy.
That's Oscar's boy, apparently.
Yeah, I always think about in public because that's my boy.
His name suits him. We should off
Lord. But you cut off the wire.
The Oscar is silent. This Oscar's moving Gary Neville, Ollie Solskjaer on this thing.
Listen. I need. I don't think you understand. If when you don't get a chance, watch the PSG highlights this weekend. Messi scored the goal of the week. Really, if we're really
being serious.
Oh yeah, if 100%, yeah,
serious.
Messi did.
Messi. When I tell man, yeah, like the reason Messi's my goal is because there's nothing Ronaldo can do that Messi can't. Screamers, I got you.
Yeah.
Headers, I got you. Dribbling, I got you.
That's fantastic.
Close control, I got you. Ball carrying, I got you. Playmaking, I got you. Like Messi is the man. The goal he scored this weekend. Ha!
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go and watch that.
When you see
No. Honestly, after Brazil, it's Argentina. It's one of those two that are winning. Fam, the way Messi is on.
I personally think Portugal's winning this World Cup. You know,
the Portuguese.
Portugal.
I think their
with
squad
Ronaldo up front.
With Ronaldo up front.
Ronaldo up front.
Of course.
But
Wait, hold on. What did you think I was going to say?
Interesting.
I just thought
Gonzalo Guedes. Who did you think I was going to say? João Felix.
The World Cup never lies. What's the best country on the planet right now?
Brazil.
France.
Whoever the best country on the planet is, that's who's winning the World Cup.
It's not France. There's no Pogba. He said he's not in it. And there's no Varane. Pogba said he's not in it.
I'll put money on France getting knocked out in the group stage.
Give me your money.
The team to watch out for.
What's the French of Bulletin? Do you remember when was it William Gallas or Patrice Evra led the French Revolution of 2006? And they just refused to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, France are winning the World Cup.
No, there needs to be a documentary on France between 2007 to 2011. Because whatever the hell was going on in that nation, in that camp, at Clairefontaine, the whole lot. They need to have a look at that. But anyway.
No, guys, Peter. What did they do? What did Benzema do to Valbuena? Like, remember that weird tape? I don't know what sort of tape it was.
I want to keep this video online. If we go into the semantics, we will be taken down. This has been dealt with by the lawyers. The lawyers have dealt with this one. This was a criminal offense.
Was it?
Yeah, for real. It was bad.
It was blackmail.
I don't know the ins and outs of it, but
it was blackmail of. Was it a sex tape or something like that?
Yeah, but
boy,
I don't know.
That's all I want to know.
That is all you want to know.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that's what you need to know. To be fair.
Listen, do yourselves a favor on Netflix. Bad.
Okay. So I shouldn't let you land.
Calciopoli, do yourself a favor. Well, you want to talk about bent football? Oh my god, it's outrageous. By the way, I found myself watching Lecce versus Juventus on Saturday. It was a good game. It was a good game. There was no way I was watching that dross at Craven Cottage. There was just no way. Okay, quickly, predictions. Let's do this very, very quickly. The big games. That's the big games. Oh, the Arsenal FC away at Chelsea.
Arsenal.
I don't know why. I think it's a draw. I don't know why.
I agree with my man.
Or Oscar.
AD?
You know what? I think Chelsea win that game. I just do.
Oscar knows. A, he's not keeping a clean sheet, number one. Number two, Martinelli and Saka against your fullbacks, against your tired centre halves.
Saka's not fit. Saka's not fit, man.
Saka will be playing. Also, Saka will score. Let me tell you right now, Saka's going to score. I'm going for an Arsenal victory. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. But it is bedtime, in all honesty. And Spurs against Liverpool. Oh, 4:30 kickoff. Lovely. It's tasty.
Tasty, that.
What do you think?
I think that's the worst type of game, you know.
Draw.
Honestly,
that's going to be an awful
it's a draw.
No, man, I think Spurs win.
Fez.
Spurs win.
The only saving grace for Liverpool is the fact that when Spurs have come against somewhat decent teams, they've completely crapped themselves. That's the only saving grace, and that's what's making me think, you know what? We might be able to hit him with a quick 1-2.
Yeah, but I think Conte's very aware of that. He said it on multiple occasions. So might be a different strategy.
He's got defeatist attitudes. Like if he loses to a good team, he just says, "Well, yeah, we're crap anyway." I know.
A funny post-match after they go out in the Champions League this week, tomorrow, and after the Sunday game, there's Conte content pending. Just get ready for it. That's all I'm saying.
I tell you what. What's the better meltdown on Sunday? A Conte one or a Klopp one?
No, give me Klopp, man.
I'm feasting on Conte.
Give me Klopp.
I'm Conte.
Guys, I'll be honest with you. I find Klopp's thing boring, man.
Same here.
Like it's so funny.
Rude. He's so rude. Like I don't know how.
He's nasty, you know.
He's a rude man.
But he's genuinely not a pleasant person.
He's not indeed. City at home to Fulham and Manchester United away at Villa.
For 6, both of you lot win.
Yeah.
The Manchester clubs don't win.
Yeah. If Unai Emery gets his win on his first game, Unai Emery on my mind. Come on. Yes, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that sums up this week's Top 4 podcast. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe on the video at Top 4 Podcast on Twitter, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, on Instagrizzle, on TikTok, on the Twitter, if I've mentioned that already, and on YouTube, of course, live every Monday, 8 p.m. We will see you next week. Couple of weeks until the World Cup. Peace.